So a lot of new things happening here, Tim. This was the first ever race under the banner of Illinois Standardbred Association. Folks might remember we used to have the Illini. This is what the Illini circuit used to be, but racing interests, horsemen, officials got together at the end of last year and said, you know, why have all the different colt circuits? How about we have one statewide colt circuit? It makes it easier in a way on everybody, processing the paperwork, getting the payments made to the horsemen from the purse account. So that is why we no longer have the Illini, but we now have the Illinois Standardbred Association. And I bet you're holding the name of somebody that's about to win.
I am, if the judge made that race official, Kurt.
We're good.
Okay, we're good. Yes, and I have the first race. Pick a winner is Diana Wolf. Dinah, I'm sorry. I can't read English very well either, Dinah. Sorry. Right down there in the red. Do you want to do that?
Yeah. Thank you.
And our friends at the Casey State Bank sponsoring the 2-year-old filly trot, which goes to Fox Valley Cassidy. First career start, owned by Lester Detweiler of Sullivan. His son, Marcus, is the trainer-driver. Marcus just 19 years of age, and he will go into the record books, Marcus Detweiler will, as the winning driver in the first ever Illinois Standardbred Association race at the Illinois County Fairs. How about a hand for the winner of race 1? Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. The winner was bred by the Fox Valley Standardbreds of Dr. Kenneth and Patricia Walker in Sherman. First crop for their flagship stallion, Southwind Chrome. This is, you're looking at the first ever winner for that sire. This is his first crop. And the Casey State Bank blanket has been presented, red blanket with white lettering and trim. So the first ever ISA race and the first ever winner for the sire, Southwind Chrome. Congratulations, Team Detweiler, on the victory, 2:15-1. And our presiding judge, Mr. Randy Callahan of nearby Greenup, he tells us the result is official for the first race. Here's the full field rundown. Approaching Anawan finished 4. Fox Valley Cassidy, the winner. Do Better Des was the runner-up. Enchanting Chrome was 3rd. The quarter, 35-3. The half in 1:10. 3 quarters in 1:44. And the mile, 2:15-1. Reeds down, 4-1-2-3. Second race coming up, the 2-year-old Colton Gelding trot. No changes, Tim, in race 2.
Thank you, Kurt. And I'm going to turn it over to Diane right now.
All righty, David, finally we got our glitches worked out here, and we're finally on the air. We didn't get anything but the finish of that race.
Exactly.
But
welcome to
nice
Honors Tube 2025. Hey, here we are, Martinsville, Illinois.
How we do on
one.
picks in that? Do you know?
No one picked the winner. I just posted on Facebook. We had the winner of the first race was Fox Valley Cassidy, owned by Lester Detweiler, trained and driven by his son, young 19-year-old Marcus Detweiler. Fox Valley Cassidy won in a time of 2 minutes and 15 seconds and 1/5 by about almost a length over Do Better Des, coming out of the Seekman stable for Danny Gardner in West Salem, and I guess Des owns that one too. So we had a nice 2-year-old filly trot. We didn't get the camera on it. Our broadcast technical stuff was giving us a headache, but we're up now, and the rest of the day we're here.
Well, I tell you what, David, let's take a look at race 2 before things get away with us. We'll take a look at that, and we'll look at a couple of other things here.
If you want to follow along, our Facebook profile should have today's program for you. If you want to print off a program and follow the horses along.
All right.
Moving on to race 2, you said, right? I'm trying to get my program turned over.
Go to race 2, and let's talk about, yes, we are here in Martinsville to be a part of this, and we can get by that slide. But we've got a race schedule out here. Before we talk about race 2, let's talk about a race schedule for the year. What have we got, 26, 27 dates?
26, I think, is the official number we landed at, and we hope we can make all these work because we want to give you guys as many races as we can. We want to give every horse, every race, a view for the owner and their fans cheering on back home. So we're going to try to hit as many as we can for you this summer.
All right, that's the main purpose of everything that we do, is to just highlight the horsemen and highlight harness racing. We invite people, you've got the dates. You can go online, find these on our Facebook page.
Yes, sir.
Numerous dates here. I'll just go through the slides fairly quickly here, as we've got 3 slides worth of dates that we're doing, but those are coming up. And I got to look at something else here because we got video running, and
Yeah, we were excited to add some new dates, and I think we threw Newton in there for the first time this year. Going to try to travel down to Newton and see some what they do.
And because the commercial may be running in the background. Let me switch, and hopefully that stops. Okay, I don't have Kurt. He's in our heads, but he's not online right now.
Okay.
So, all right, let's talk about race 2 before he
Sure.
gets on the air to do that.
Race 2 we have is the second, I guess this is the first division of 2-year-old colt trotters for the Illinois Standardbred Association. Kurt said before the last race, the old Midwestern Illinois Racing Association and Big Ten and Illini and Egyptian, those are all gone and have been replaced by the new Illinois Standardbred Association, kind of just coordinating events and keeping all the paperwork and all the, the efforts consolidated to the couple people doing all those activities. So we have the second race in the ISA, the 2-year-old colt trot. This is the Philip B. Reeds Memorial. You want to handicap this thing?
Sure. Basically, this is really hard, folks, because there are no races on these 2-year-olds out there for us to look at.
I have one trick over here. I didn't tell you guys till after you picked, but I told Lisa.
Well, I give you my trick. I go by driver and trainer, and the driver-trainer put together is where I made my picks, and you can tell them what the picks are.
Absolutely. So looking for race 2, we have my picks. David, I went 4-1-3 on top. I went to little too pricey from the Jamaica Patent Barn. That's a homebred for John Carver bred that thing for Ron Phillips. Can't afford it. Colt out of Refocus. This is a little brother to who you might remember, Hocus Pocus and Focus. We watched for the couple of years. One of Lisa's favorite horses. So we have a little brother on top. My second choice is Double Bonsai out of the Seekman stable. Travis was a nice second here last race. And my third choice went to Lou's True Lou, Sean Ness's barn with Isaac Love driving. I think it's like Steve had Travis on top with Double Bonsai. Second choice was a little too pricey. And his third choice, we all went to Lou's True Lou. Lisa was like me. She went to Jamaica on top, a little too pricey to win this one. Her second choice was, again, Double Bonsai. I think everyone likes that stable pretty good. And the third choice was Lou's True Lou. So we're kind of all in the same token here, I think.
Yeah, so that's our handicap based on nothing at all other than trainers, horses,
I guess,
background.
Good point. Maybe for some of the newer fans, they don't quite know. Kurt was explaining earlier on the microphone, this is the first race for a lot of these horses, the first time they're away from home and seeing all the bright lights and sounds and fans and folks. So there's not any races to look at in the program and handicap off of. You kind of got to go with maybe the horse's breeding, maybe the stable, maybe the driver, maybe how the horse is on the track. We kind of just got to find whatever piques your interest.
Yeah, we'll know more in a couple of weeks what's going on.
We'll know a lot more, yeah.
With these horses.
It's funny how quick they kind of iron themselves out and kind of separate themselves, the good ones from the bad ones.
So we'll give you something online with Kurt and the guys going online for a while.
Yeah. Racing industry, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He was actually, I had the pleasure of, that was my second Great Midwest Pace win. It was with his horse, BR's Brett, who turned out to be a really nice racehorse. And so I hope, I know Phil sure enjoyed it. Yes, he did. Loved racing. With his late sister, they owned BR's Brett together, and they spent a lot of time that summer together traveling and getting to spend some time with her before she had passed away.
Harness racing roots have run deep here in the Martinsville community and across Clark County for many, many years, and folks like Phil Reeds contributed so much to that legacy to help sustain racing and keep it active here at the fair over the years. And Tim, I'll tell you something else. One thing I learned, I probably didn't appreciate this as much back then when I was starting my career as I do now, but I look back, and when you're a teenager and Phil Reeds is in charge of the racing program, and he says, sure, you're a teenager, but if you want to call the races, you come from a racing family, all right, sure, come on over and you can call the races. I look back on that, and that's one of the reasons why the fair circuit is so important to so many of us, aspiring racing officials, announcers, horsemen. it's incredible to have this opportunity when you want to be involved in this sport to participate, get your start at the grassroots level. People like Phil Reed's made that happen for a lot of folks.
Absolutely, because it's just like Major League Baseball or whatever. You're not going to start out right in the major leagues. You have to start somewhere. Everybody, from Timmy Tetrick, who's the leading driver in the country now, he started right here at the Illinois County Fairs, just like the rest of us did. So it's you get your start here, and you get the itch and the love of racing, and then once it gets in you, it never leaves. Are we waiting on a horse, Kurt? Or
the last horse is coming to the track right now, so we are ready to go. Starters are out. Post parade now begins to form up down in the first turn of the racetrack for the Illinois Standardbred Association 2-year-old colt and gelding trot. We saw the fillies in the first race, now the colts and geldings for a purse of just over $4,900. No changes here in race 2. And again, every horse in this lineup seeing the starting gate for the first time today. So as we talked about with race 1, just getting some racing experience, so important here for these 2-year-olds. Number 1 is Double Bonsai, owned by Dennis Gardner of West Salem, co-owned by the trainer Desiree Seekman of Gaston, Indiana. Travis Seekman is in the bike. 2 is Lou's Lottery, owned by the Flacco Family Farms, LLC of Alexis, of Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco, and Rick and Tabby Flacco, trained by Jill Brown, her husband Chris Brown, the driver. 3 is Lou's True Lou, owned by Ernie Sork of Fairfield, Nori Nessa of Fairfield, Sean Nessa of DuQuoin, trained by Sean Nessa, the driver Isaac Love. And number 4, Lil Too Pricey, owned by Ron Phillips of Athens, trained and also driven today by Jamaica Patton. Tim, we want to take a moment before we get too deep into the card today to remind everyone, the Illinois Harness Horsemen's Association has been working diligently for quite some time on a horse racing bill, which is scheduled to be heard in the Senate Executive Committee on Wednesday. That'll be this Wednesday, May 28th at 2 p.m. From the IHHA, Brenda Watson is positioned in the grandstand, right toward the center of the grandstand, about 3 bleachers up along the start-finish line. And anyone who would like to file a witness slip as a proponent of the horse racing bill, which would seek to build a new racetrack in Illinois, feel free to talk to Brenda. It all has to be done properly and legally, of course, so we can't file a witness slip until someone approaches and says, yes, you're authorized to do that. But if you are so led, feel free to talk to Brenda, and she can help make that happen.
Kurt, we appreciate you mentioning that. Hey, Brenda, would you stand back up just so Brenda's standing up waving her program? So if you could please take your time out in between race to go down and sign a slip for her where she will help fill out. But like Kurt said, it has to be done legally. But if you could approach her and support the Illinois Harness Racing, obviously if you're here today, you're at least interested in our sport and would like to see it continue. So if you could do that, it would be a great help for us, hopefully. Thank you. Kurt, are we going to get can sometime today maybe I give us in honor of your dad, give us a "Here They Come"?
You know, my dad, when he would call, rest his soul, he would draw out the "Here They Come." I remember, I think the second year I was calling races, I tried that, and it was like listening to someone sing off key. It just didn't work. So as a result, I've never done it. But you know, I'll tell you, that's something else. I remember someday somebody told me, they said, you can call a horse race, but you will never be as good as your dad. And I smiled, and I loved hearing that. To me, he was the best. Right now, here they come for race 2 in your scorecard, the Philip Reed's Memorial. They are off and trotting. Double Bonsai goes out for the lead. Lou's Lottery comes away in the second position. Lou's True Lou is out racing in third, and Lil Too Pricey is away in fourth. All come away in good order, and they settle single file as they move around that first turn. And, folks, what you're seeing here is a field not only of young, inexperienced horses, but by contrast, experienced drivers. You notice they just let these 2-year-olds, they know it's the first time these 2-year-olds have ever seen racing conditions, and as a result, they've just kind of let them settle down and take things at their own clip. Now, Lil Too Pricey did break stride at the back of the pack, 34-2 for the opening quarter, 34 2/5 seconds, and now Lou's Lottery is off stride as well as they navigate that far turn. So 2 of them have broken stride, and not surprisingly, the 2 that have not are the ones that go 1-2 after 3/8 of a mile. You've got Double Bonsai, who has opened up on a 5-length lead as Lou's True Lou will go second. And then there's a gap of 20 more lengths back to an off-stride Lou's Lottery and Lil Too Pricey last. They're halfway home in the Phil Reed's Memorial. Double Bonsai is your leader. The lead's down to 3 lengths. 107-4 for the first half mile. 107-4. Lou's True Lou is starting to cut into the margin. Still a pretty good gap, nearly 20 lengths back then to Lou's Lottery, who's back on the trot but a distant third, followed closely there by Lil Too Pricey as these 4 work their way back over toward the far side of the course. And up the backstretch they go with Double Bonsai, your leader. Double Bonsai leads it. Travis Seekman set the tempo in the first race today, but then had to settle for a runner-up finish. Let's see if this time Travis gets home a winner. Double Bonsai is still on top here by 2 lengths. 141-2 at the 3/4, 141-2. Thank you, Mark Kingery. Around the final turn they go. Double Bonsai is your leader. Lou's True Lou is second. There's 2.5 lengths separating them. The other 2 still far back. There's less than 1/8 of a mile to go, and Double Bonsai still the leader. Lou's True Lou is second. There's 3 lengths between them in deep stretch. Double Bonsai still in front. Lou's True Lou is going to make a final try, but the wire's coming, and Double Bonsai wins it. Double Bonsai hangs on by a diminishing length and a half over Lou's True Lou, home second. Lou's Lottery trying to hang on here for the 3rd spot as they come down to the wire. Challenged by Lil Too Pricey, and Lil Too Pricey actually got up in the final stride to get 3rd. Lil Too Pricey 3rd, Lou's Lottery 4th, 2:13 2/5, 2:13-2. Tim?
Good race there, Kurt. Very good race. The battle for 3rd and 4th was pretty interesting there. I think that you were correct that the outside horse just got up the last step or 2 to nip him for 3rd.
Tim, a question for you, since we've talked so much about these 2-year-olds and how they are seeing the starting gate and seeing race conditions for the first time. Can a 2-year-old trotter be almost like a toddler, a human being? Do they kind of look around? Do they get distracted sometimes by the sights and the sounds?
Well, you mentioned Travis finishing second in the first race. We definitely scared his colt standing up here on stage. He obviously had never seen that, probably never been away from home. The colt shied, and you called him taking a few bad steps. Well, that was totally our fault. That wasn't the colt's fault. He just was caught off guard by us up here. So as good as these horses are behaving today, it shocks me because a lot of them have probably never been away from their home until today.
Well, the winner of race 2 is indeed Travis Seekman. His wife, Desiree, the trainer and co-owner, and Dennis Gardner co-owns Double Bonsai, a $4,500 yearling purchase at the Illini Classic yearling sale last year on Labor Day. It's like a leg wrap has come undone, so alertly that's being taken care of down there in the first turn. Safety first, always the priority. Double Bonsai, how about that? Southwind Chrome, his first crop, and he sires the first 2 winners on the card. This gelded son of Southwind Chrome is out of Adriana, Hanover by credit winner, bred by Kevin Klein, the longtime director of the standardbred program at the University of Illinois. Now here comes the winner in front of the stands, winning the Philip Reed's Memorial. Presentation about to be made. How about a hand for the winner, Double Bonsai? Tim?
Southwind Chrome off to a nice start here, Kurt. That's pretty impressive. And have looked very nice doing it also. I think Travis said something about wanting some black tape on those brace bandages. It stood on long enough. That's all that mattered. Kurt, to pick a winner, if that race is official, which I believe you said it was, is Jackson Schaefer. Jackson Schaefer gets a Clark County pork burger. Jackson, if you can wave your hand.
David, coming back at the end of that race, we all handicapped that race. How did that come out as far as we're concerned?
I think Steve won that one, if I had to go back and look, huh?
Who won that? I won that. Oh.
Are you Steve? Is that Steve?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, Steve got the winner right. He flip-flopped the second and third, but I tell you what, that's better than Lisa and I did, so I'll give him credit for that.
So if I'd had a box, I would have won some good money.
If you box a trifecta, you would have got it, yeah. Yeah. I don't know, you would have won half the pot. When you box, you get half the winnings.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. I do it all the time, I guarantee. I'm not confident enough to bet straight.
Yeah. Not particularly when you don't know the horses.
No, I mean, right, yeah, exactly, absolutely.
And David, again, we got in here kind of late. We're trying to get our feet on the ground with some things going on. But let's talk a little bit. I got to get my cheat sheet out here of what we've got here. Let's go to let's let Kurt do this.
I was the winner. Lou's Lottery finished 4. Lou's True Lou was the runner-up, and Lil Too Pricey was third. It was 34-2 at the quarter, 107-4 at the half, 3 quarters, 141-2, and the mile 213 2/5. Reads down 1-4-2-3. So the third race is on the way. In the upcoming race, no scratches, no driver changes to report. By the way, Tim, this 2 days of racing here at Martinsville. You all have a lot of horses entered over these 2 days that represent, in many cases, first-time owners. And that is a wonderful thing to see. That bodes well for the future of the sport. And we mentioned that because in the third race, number 2, Fox Valley Barbie, you will notice one of the owners listed, Mrs. Penny White. Well, Penny is a sister to co-owner Bart Seals. This is the first time that Penny herself, as an individual, has owned an interest in a racehorse. Very special moment because of the fact that Penny's family, their roots in harness racing go back many, many years. Some of us are old enough to remember when her late father, Fred Seals, was a trainer, driver. He was a stallion owner. He raced at fairs like Martinsville. Penny's here today with her family, so special moment for Penny as she gets ready to watch her filly race. First time she's personally owned a racehorse.
That would be great. Maybe she can break her maiden right here at Martinsville for the horse and herself. Diane, we're
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
Make plans now to attend the Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's why we didn't have the feedback, David. Okay, thanks. We're glad to be back with you. We're going to start handicapping race 3, David.
Okay.
Again, we got no history on this horse, so we'll let you
When we go ahead and try to see what I can do with this.
see what you can do with the handicap
Race-
there. What we picked at least.
Race 3, the first division of 2-year-old filly pace here in the Illinois Standardbred Association. I'll go with my picks first. I went 2-4-3. My winner here is Fox Valley Barbie out of the Kevin Miller stable with Travis Seekman in the bike. Travis won the last race, was second in the first race, obviously having a pretty good day. I got to like him on here, and Kevin's one of our best trainers in the circuit for sure. My second choice was 4, Blue Band Express with Jaquavian Carter for Jamaica. Looks like the horse is over there in the turn. Nice little roan horse, looks like. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, my second choice, Blue Band Express, and for third, I went to Bet on the Jet for Freddie Patton Jr. What about you guys? Do you have your picks over there? No,
Yeah, we got.
Okay. You guys went to, let's see, Lisa agreed with me with Fox Valley Barbie, but you threw a curveball down here. You're going with Jaquavian and Blue Band Express for the win, huh?
Yeah. So I'm L2. Let's see.
Oh, I thought there was L's and S's at one time.
L's and S's. Well, let's see. You got
now we L's and L's.
You got the other sheet that we marked on?
This is the one you guys marked on, but Lisa was doing L's and S's, and she switched to L's and L's.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can
So I
figure
don't know
this.
whose picks are whose, but we have the Surratt picks.
She did those. Okay. I'm going to say Lisa picked Fox Valley Barbie to win. I went the opposite direction. I went to Blue Band Express to win. Lisa, for the second slot, picked Blue Band Express. I picked Fox Valley Barbie. So we just flip-flopped our two changes, and then we both went with Bet on the Jet for third. And so that's our picks out of there, if you can figure our scribbling out. I just know that she picked first. So
yeah, she gets the first pick, right? Ladies first.
And because I don't want her to know what I'm picking.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's strategy is what that is. You've been around the game long enough. You already have
I
a
don't
strategy.
want to teach her anymore because, honestly, she's kicked David and I's hind end a couple of different times, and she just picks according to
a so-called expert and a so-called sports buff, and here we are getting beat by Lisa, the camera lady, right?
Yep.
That's how it goes.
You didn't have your mom pick. You're going to have her pick for tomorrow.
She did. I don't have her picks over here.
More difficult to train one or the other?
Trotter's definitely much more difficult than a pacer. If they can interfere a lot easier than our pacers do, just the way they will strike their hind leg with their front leg when they're trotting, and they can also brush their knees like a pacer will. But a lot of times a young trotter who starts hurting a little bit, they don't really understand it, so they'll make breaks. Where a pacer with the hobbles on them, you can kind of help coax them through that while they're working through some of their colt soreness.
Of course, Mark Kingery, one of our racing officials here in the judges' stand, he just uttered a word. Now, you're shaking your head no, but he just uttered a word I think you will agree with. When we said something about training a trotter, he looked over and he uttered one word: patience. Fair enough?
I was glad that's what he uttered to you, Kurt, because I was afraid to hear what else it might have been. But he is absolutely correct. You have to have the patience just to try to work with them and work it out with them, because getting frustrated at them never works. Promise you that. Hey, and Kurt, one thing, just because I take for granted everybody's grown up in the harness racing business like you and I have, but I just thought I might explain what I said. The filly could break her maiden and the owner could break her maiden here all at the same point. What that means in the harness racing and the thoroughbred racing business is a maiden is a horse that has never won any kind of race. So I just thought, in case you're a first time or new to the harness racing sport, if you were thinking I was speaking Chinese up here, a maiden to us is a horse that's never won a race. So hopefully that makes a little bit better explanation for you.
And thank you, Tim. We appreciate that. Right now the horses are at the post and the gate's rolling. And Tim, when these horses come by for the start, I want you to put an eye on number 4, Blue Band Express, who is listed in the program as a brown filly, because she looks kind of gray or roan, and you can probably speak to this. Sometimes when they're registered, they can look a certain way, and sometimes they can change that color of their coat as they get older, right?
Yes, they can, and I would have definitely, just glancing over, I would have thought it was roan for sure. Good catch.
And a great point. Our presiding judge just pointed out the first dam, the mother of that filly, is a Broadway Express mare. And Broadway, yes, Tim's nodding his head. Broadway Express was a gray or roan horse and was known for passing on that coloring. Here they come, third race, brought to you by the Martinsville Chamber of Commerce. Blue Band Express breaking stride. The rest are off and pacing. There goes KC's co-pilot out for the early lead. Bet on the Jet gets away in second position. Fox Valley Barbie away in good order, a close third. And then Blue Band Express trying to catch up to the other three as they swing off the first turn. Challenge and change for the lead as Bet on the Jet moves by. And Bet on the Jet is the new leader, having moved by KC's co-pilot, who now travels in the second position. With Fox Valley Barbie right there third. These three line up nose to tail as they go by the quarter, then a gap of a dozen more lengths or so back to Blue Band Express, who is trailing. 32 seconds for the opening quarter, 32 seconds flat. Bet on the Jet. Freddie Patton Jr. in the bike, showing the way by just over 2 lengths. KC's co-pilot travels in second, a length and a half. Fox Valley Barbie is third. And again, as we talked about with those trotters, every one of these 2-year-old pacing fillies' first career start here today. Blue Band Express is fourth and last as they're halfway home in the Martinsville Chamber of Commerce division of the 2-year-old filly pace. And it is Bet on the Jet on top as they go by the half. 105 and 1. 105 and 1/5. Freddie Patton Jr., newly minted Illinois Harness Racing Hall of Fame horseman. He was inducted back around March 1st. He's got the lead, but here comes a challenge. Fox Valley Barbie has moved from third to second, and she's up within 2 lengths of the lead. A gap of 3. Blue Band Express has moved back into contention, and KC's co-pilot is fourth, and the lead battle is shaping up. 3 of these fillies separated by just 3 lengths as they go by the 3/4 mile mark, but Bet on the Jet is still the leader. 3/4, 137 flat. Bet on the Jet leads it around the final turn, opens back up here by 2 lengths, and is chased every step of the way by Fox Valley Barbie. Then a gap of 5 more lengths to Blue Band Express in third. They turn for home. Bet on the Jet leads. Fox Valley Barbie will make another try. Still 3 lengths between them. Still 2 lengths between them. Fox Valley Barbie's hitting another gear. Here comes the wire. This is going to be close. Oh, that's tight. That is tight. That's a photo for the win. That is a photo finish for the win. That is close. Too close to call. That will either be Bet on the Jet or Fox Valley Barbie for the win. We know this much. Blue Band Express was third, and KC's co-pilot was fourth. Time for the mile, 2:08 flat. 2:08 flat. So, Tim, we know one thing. One of those 2 fillies is going to come away with a pretty nice record for a May 2-year-old pace, 2:08. Pretty impressive.
On a track that, and I'd like to thank Tim Denham. He's been working his hind end off down here for the last couple of weeks trying to get this track ready. But everybody that lives around here knows how much rain we've had, Kurt. It has just been a nightmare for track maintenance and for farming. But Tim has really put a lot of effort in, and we appreciate. But that was an outstanding race, a 2.8 mile. on an off track or good track. Let's call it a good track. Very entertaining race too, to say the least. That'll get the blood flowing when you try to decide. What about a dead heat, Kurt? Do you think you had a better view than I did? It was tight.
Well, I know this. I know that Fox Valley Barbie definitely had the momentum, but I was uncertain, and we do have a great vantage point here. We are right atop this yellow finish line that is stretched across from the grandstand toward the top side of the infield stage. But I remember learning years ago the old adage as a track announcer: if you've got any doubt in your mind, simply say photo finish or too close to call. And there was some doubt in my mind. Who really did get there first?
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do is start calling a winner, and then you have when the tote board pops up and it's the wrong number, you're not going to look too good, are you?
That is so true, and I think we've all been there at one time or another as a track announcer, and it is so difficult to back out of that swamp once you've declared somebody's won. Happened to me at the Edgar County Fair at Paris, one of the first years I called. By the slightest of margins. You remember when Tom Durkin, Illinois native, used to do the thoroughbred races for NBC? He would say by a flared nostril, number 3 Bet on the Jet is your winner.
Wow. That's a heartbreaking loss for the first-time owner and the first-time filly starter, because she put out a heck of an effort. The other filly along the rail was game, though, Kurt, because I was with you. I thought the 2 was going by. The 3 put up for never racing before, dug in like an old horse and fought her off, evidently.
Well, returning in front of the stands is our winner, Bet on the Jet, with a very courageous victory, as this filly in her first career start had to reach down deep, and she gave it her all, and she hung on to win. How about a hand for Bet on the Jet? She knows she did well. I love it, Tim, seeing a horse kind of get on their tiptoes and raise their head when the crowd applauds, and there's the Martinsville Chamber of Commerce blanket, Tim.
Very gutsy effort by the filly. My pick a winner, Kurt, by the slimmest of margins, obviously, Mary Zachary. If you can raise your hand, Mary. Now, we've got you. Thank you.
And real quickly, folks, your winning driver, newly minted Illinois Hall of Fame horseman, Mr. Freddie Patton Jr. Congratulations, sir.
Great horse race.
Really was. That's the kind of racing that keeps folks coming back each year at Martinsville. Judge, are we official here? He says we are. By the way, that winning filly, let's also acknowledge the owner, Christopher Spann of Canton, Mississippi, the breeder, Ed Teefee, from up at Mount Sterling, Illinois, Freddie Patton Jr., a native of Clinton, Mississippi, your trainer-driver. The 2-year-old filly winner by Jet Airway out of String Bet by Betting Line. That was a $2,200 yearling purchase at the Illini Classic yearling sale. So here's your official full field rundown. Casey's co-pilot finished 4th. Fox Valley Barbie with a very good effort runner-up. Bet on the Jet, the winner, and Blue Band Express 3. 32 at the quarter, 105 and 1 at the half. 3 quarters, 137, and the mile, 208 flat. Reads down 4-2-1-3. The 4th race is coming up, 2nd division of the 2-year-old filly Pace, in memory of Susan Wolf Probst, and there are no changes in this upcoming 4th event. Let's go back to Tim.
Kurt, we're going to turn it over to Diane again right now.
scheduled. They've got a race for the first time in 60 plus years. The NASCAR Cup Series is scheduled to have a points-paying race held outside the U.S., and that one is coming up right in the middle of June. That will be on June 15 down at Mexico City, Mexico, at the road course, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. It's a race course named in memory of two famous racers who were natives of Mexico, and that should be exciting. But as always, summertime's just a great time of year, and it's so much fun. I thought driving in here today, it was kind of the best of both worlds. I had on the radio in the car, and Roger Penske, who owns the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, was giving the command to fire the engines for the Indy 500. I don't do any work in the IndyCar series, but have a lot of respect for it, and have tremendous respect for the Indy 500 and what that race means to the social fabric of America, because it's a great tradition. And I thought, pulling in here, coming to Martinsville, which has been known for years as one of the best fairs in the Midwest for harness racing, and hearing the command to fire the engine just down the road to the east for the Indy 500, it's a great race day. It really is.
Yes, it is. That got you fired up, huh, when you were getting.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up.
What's with race 4?
Race 4, the second division of 2-year-old Philly Pacers. We had let's go ahead and go through the rundown, or the draw. The one-horse Captain Ruthie is owned by Michael Summers in Crystal Springs, Mississippi, and Roshan Derez Trigg of Brandon. He's trained by Roshan Trigg and driven by Travis Siekman. The two-horse Trevor's Aristocrat is owned by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown, driven by her husband Chris Brown.
Make plans now to attend the Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
Owned by Tom T. Tetrick, driven today by Cornelius Cavett.
Okay, who did you pick, David?
I went 1-4-3. I went on top with Captain Ruthie and Travis and Trigg. That's a nice horse. Captain Trevor is a nice breeding. There's some speed there. My second choice down to 4. Tom Tetrick. The Tetrick name. This is Tim and Trace's older brother, and very capable horseman himself. He keeps these horses prepared, so I know that he's going to have this horse.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
And I went with, it's got to be, yeah, she got mixed up again. Okay. Let's say I did the incredible Coquette. In the second position, third position, streaking in at midnight. So Lisa and I flip-flopped the 2 and the 3.
Was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets,
past
granite,
winter, we just mentioned the
built-in office
winner of the last race,
cabinetry,
I think, was Freddie
and
Patton.
offer
I think it was the
a
last
wide
third
range
race.
of
Freddie
Amish
won the
furniture.
newly minted Hall of Famer in the
1117
Illinois Harness
West
Racing Hall of
Jackson
Fame. Freddie
Street
Patton
in
won the
Sullivan,
last
Illinois,
race.
with store hours
At the same
Tuesday through
event,
Friday, 9 to 4:30,
T's
and Saturday,
dad,
9
Tom
to 3.
Tetrick
For
Sr.,
more
was honored
information, contact Yoder
and
Custom
enshrined in the Hall of
Woodworking
Fame here
at
in Illinois. And it was great to see the Tetrick family show up for a well-deserved honor for a well-deserved family.
They're coming up here. We better get back to the track.
All right.
Here they come right now. 4th race in your program. 2nd division, the 2-year-old filly pace. Here they come. Problems for Captain Ruthie. Off stride. Gets right back on the pace, but lost a couple of lengths. They are off and pacing. There goes Trevor's Aristocrat out for the lead. Trevor's Aristocrat right to the front, streaking at midnight, comes away in second. Incredible Coquette is away in third, and Captain Ruthie recovered quickly from that miscue before the start and has now caught the field as they move around the first turn. Bobble there from Trevor's Aristocrat as they moved off the turn, but quickly recovers and head up the back stretch. Likewise for Incredible Coquette, who now is moving to the outside. So Incredible Coquette from third, after she got settled down, is now moving fast. And Incredible Coquette goes from third to second to the lead. Incredible Coquette takes over 34 seconds. The opening quarter, 34 seconds flat. 18-year-old Demarius Wakefield in the race bike there with Incredible Coquette on top by a length and a half. Trevor's Aristocrat will go second by 3 lengths. Captain Ruthie looks to the outside and moves up into the third position with Streaking at Midnight now shuffled back into fourth. They work their way toward the half-mile mark here in race 4, and Incredible Coquette is your leader. Incredible Coquette about to face a challenge. Captain Ruthie moving up on the outside around Trevor's Aristocrat. 106 and 2 for the first half mile. 106 and 2/5. Side by side for the lead. Past the watchful eye of the horseman. Lined up along the fence in the stable area. You've got Captain Ruthie from the outside, who now takes a narrow lead. Captain Ruthie leads it by almost a full length. Incredible Coquette has given way in second. Streaking at midnight. Takes to the outside. Challenges for third just outside of Trevor's Aristocrat. That pair 3.5 lengths off the lead. There's a quarter mile to go. Captain Ruthie is on top. Leads it by a length. Incredible Coquette second. 138 the time at the 3/4. 138 flat. Streaking at midnight third on the outside, and then Trevor's Aristocrat fourth. Eighth of a mile to go. Captain Ruthie opens up by 3 lengths as they turn for home. Incredible Coquette is second. It is Captain Ruthie trying to give Travis Siekman his second winner on the card, and Captain Ruthie is chased by Incredible Coquette to the wire, but here is the wire. Captain Ruthie hangs on by a diminishing half length. Incredible Coquette brushed home nicely to be a closing second, and then it was Streaking at midnight third, and Trevor's Aristocrat was fourth. 2:09 flat, the time for the mile. 2:09 flat. Your winner, number 1, Captain Ruthie.
They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Kurt, another excellent race.
Wait, before you go.
Yeah.
Oh, he's down. I keep forgetting who's down and who's up. I'm bad at that. Okay. We're good.
Sure to subscribe.
No, we're fine. I just need to pay attention.
Oh, so who won? Who points wise? Who got it right?
I think that was myself. 1, 4, 3, right? 1, 4. Oh, 1, 3, 4. Oh, I had my. So 1. You. We got it right. I have all of our picks backwards. I have the.
I can't wait till we do points tonight.
Maybe I won't do them this year after that.
Oh. All right, we're going to do the winner circle.
Make plans now to attend the Illini Classic yearling sale.
Now he's one of the leading drivers in Chicago. I trained at his mom and dad's farm for many years over in Indiana. They have a beautiful facility. He's a really good guy. There's just one really bad thing about him, Kurt. He's a Detroit Lions fan, and he doesn't realize he's in enemy territory right now.
Join us and finish the summer strong.
And there is Travis Siekman. How about a hand for the winner, number 1, Captain Ruthie? As we remember Susan Wolf Probst, a native of Martinsville. She was a Martinsville High School graduate, an EIU graduate as well. In fact, was a member of the staff there, and she loved coming to the races, and we remember her today with this division of the 2-year-old filly pace. Captain Ruthie, owned by Michael Summers of Crystal Springs, Mississippi, co-owned by the trainer Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi. This filly was a $2,500 yearling purchase. Travis is also a motorsports fan. Travis, are you cheering for Kyle Larson to win the Indy 500 today? He says yes, sir. We figured because Travis is a big NASCAR fan, so he's pulling for the NASCAR guy at Indy.
He is a big NASCAR fan, I know. And I'm going to maybe start talking about my harness tube guys here. Did you notice David Brink take the Detroit Lions hat out and tip it to Travis? We're going to have an investigation here, Kurt. There could be some people leaving the fairgrounds pretty soon. Maybe we won't invite them back next year. I'll get a Bears hat for him. He'll come back.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started.
My pick a winner for race 4, and I hope this is right, Linda Allhands.
They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops.
We'll come back on our side of things, Dave. Let's talk about
the win.
Some of it, yeah. Let's see if I got this right now. We added a camera. Let's talk about from the backstretch. That's something we'd love to do during the racing season.
I haven't looked at the YouTube chat yet today. We've been so busy, but yeah, we'd love to hear from you. If you have any memories from tomorrow's the 75th annual Great Midwest Trot and Great Midwest Pace. If you have any memories from past ones, give us a shout. Give us a YouTube chat, email, phone numbers on the screen. You can text us, whatever's easiest for you.
All right, yeah, we want you to do that as much as possible. We love hearing from our fans. And it's got how you can do it up there.
I'm just got in the chat. I looked over here. If we have some people in the chat, love to see you over there. We'll start interacting with you now. We have it open, and we appreciate everyone's comments.
Yeah, we'd love to see some memories. Shoot us some pictures. We had great last year. I love the pictures of the horse watching harness tube on
in the
YouTube.
stall. Yeah, so if you're in your barn and you have a TV with harness tube on.
Was that Travis that sent that last year?
That was Will Fong's, wasn't it?
Will
Fong's barn had one, and I think maybe somebody else in Oak Grove.
And we got one with sour grapes. Watching.
Yep,
and I know Julie and them are racing a lot of stuff down in Kentucky.
Kentucky and Indiana, Oak Grove, and Ohio too, right?
Yeah.
So
Sour
they've
grapes
kind of moved a little out east, but they're still racing, still having some success. I think Sour Grapes won a few 4 or 5 races.
Make plans now to attend the Illini Classic yearling sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century. It's the Illini Classic yearling sale at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
Help Lisa out with some of the camera work. Maybe spot her for some breaks if she needs to run to the bio break or grab some food or something.
And there's 1 or 2 that we can't make. So
yeah, and to be honest, I'm going to need Mom this year, and she volunteers. She loves it. She's had so much fun last year filming for one of the events for us, and she kind of asked to come along. So it's a nice treat to come down to southeastern Illinois. We went out to Richard's Farm last night, had a nice meal, you know.
Well,
Looking to
and I
move
was
your
gonna
mobile
talk
home?
about that
Need a
because we
roll-off
need to get
dumpster
some
at a
of the
competitive
local
rate? Or
flavors
maybe it's time to
here,
demo that
to
old
what's
mobile
going
home.
on,
Pine Ridge Mobile Home
out
Transport
here
has
as
you covered.
we,
We serve
take
Central
a look at
Illinois with
things.
reliable mobile home transport, offer
you can
affordable
plan a
roll-off
trip to
dumpsters for the
Martinsville, so
Springfield
put it on
area,
your calendar
and provide
for next
expert
year, whenever
demolition
the
services
races
across
are.
Illinois and
And I
Missouri.
would
For
imagine
fast,
they're
friendly
gonna be fairly
service, call Wayne
successful.
Decker at
They'll have it
217-313-9744.
But
That's
put Casey on the list.
217-313-9744. Or find
10
Pine
miles
Ridge
down
Mobile
the
Home
road is
Transport
little
on
old Casey,
Facebook,
the-
your
the
one-stop
biggest
solution
stuff
for
in the world
mobile
in
home
the smallest
services.
town or something like that.
Yeah, and absolutely. Then the Richards Farms that we ate at last night, fantastic place. David saw the world's biggest pork chop on a plate last night.
Also saw a 40-foot pitchfork, but yeah, I saw you take on that 1 pound pork chop.
1 pound pork chop last night at Richards Farms, and I tell you what, David, one of the best pork chops I've ever had.
The ribs were delicious. The ambiance there, it's such a cool location.
The ladies had salmon.
And they looked delicious.
Oh,
yeah.
it was fantastic.
It's hard for me to go to a farm and order fish, but it did look good, you know.
Well, fish are raised on farms too. They're called fish
bathroom
farms.
cabinetry.
I guess so.
I
guess so.
Yeah.
Furniture.
But
just, you know, the area down here, we've stayed in some Airbnbs with some nice hosts, nice, you know, nice little properties. It's a nice trip to get away. Nice fare down here, you know.
And we want to encourage you to go to races in person.
Please.
We're here to
Please,
provide the gaps, maybe to get you interested in what's going on. But we'll tell you, this is a nice little vacation for us coming down here. Yeah, we, like David said, we got a nice Verbo or Airbnb that we're staying in. That's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And we sat out on the front porch last night. We ate locally.
Yeah.
Had that. Went out to a local place for breakfast.
Little diner.
We're here watching harness racing.
Wait,
what
before
more could
you
you
go,
ask for?
You made a good point there. We want you out here in the grandstands because, for instance, that third race for the photo finish, you know, we had our mics off. Kurt was on the microphone and doing a great job announcing, but we were over here in the stage yelling. I mean, I've been doing this 25, 30 years, and it still gets in your blood. When you have those close finishes, those big moves, it still makes your heart pound. And when you're here in person, when the grandstand echoes, when the seats shake, it's just nothing like it.
Absolutely. And then you can make other trips like to Casey to doing those things.
Yes,
you can do the same things. The other thing that's in Casey nobody knows about, any of us play slow pitch softball growing up. The ASA
Make plans now to attend the Illini Classic yearling sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic
Mount
has
Sterling,
been
yeah, so we're trying to figure out if we
quarter
have any
century.
connections
It's
there,
the
but-
Illini Classic
definitely
yearling
know,
sale at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
To go to Springfield to Lincoln Museum and the sites over there, or to New Salem.
If you like camping out, go camp at Siloam and show up to the fair. I mean, do whatever's. Travel to the fairs this summer. Get out, get with people, because I guarantee you're going to be happy you did. The excitement of being in groups and all kind of sharing a common point is indescribable.
Now, and you're maybe like
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Am I reading it or letting Kurt read it?
We can let Kurt do it.
Okay.
Standardbred Association 2-year-old colt and gelding pace for a purse of just over $5,000. No scratches. A reminder, the driver of the 4, Private Pepper, Jaquavian Carter. Jaquavian Carter drives number 4. By the way, first-time owner. The co-owner of number 5 Jazz Party, Walter Lee Holmes III out of Madison, Mississippi. He's a member of the staff back at the Jamaica Patton Stable, and this is Walt's first horse. So, Walt, welcome aboard. Good to have you here today, and good to have you involved as an owner in this great sport of harness racing. Number 1 is Illini Game Day, owned by Kevin and Keith Miller of Arthur, owned also by Andrew Miller of Sydney, trained by Kevin Miller, Travis Seekman in the bike. 2, Incredible Stevie, owned by Nan Turner of Argenta, trained and driven by Mike Rogers. Number 3, Blitz Package, owned by Frank Thigpen of Crystal Springs, Mississippi, trained by Roshan Trigg, the driver Demarius Wakefield. Number 4, Private Pepper, owned by Linda Allhands of Monticello, trained by Jamaica Patton. It will be Jaquavian Carter in the bike. And number 5, Jazz Party, owned by Jamaica Patton of Rochester, Marquesta McAllister of Garrison, Texas. Walt Holmes out of Madison, Mississippi, trained and driven by Jamaica Patton, Jazz Party number 5. And again, all 5 horses making their first career start. Tim, we caught up with Jamaica Patton a couple of days ago. And we asked, we said, we've never seen the name Walter Lee Holmes III. And Jamaica said, well, here's the thing. He said he's part of my staff at my stable. He's a good worker, faithful to the horses he takes care of. And he said, I talked to Walt, and he said Walt had expressed an interest in wanting to own part of a racehorse. So Jamaica kind of helped put it together, helped make it happen, got Walt involved as a co-owner here on number 5.
Make plans now to attend.
Very good. We like all the new owners we can get, Kurt. That's great for the sport, absolutely. We want everybody to enjoy it, hopefully make a little bit of money, and if not, at least not lose too much.
It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield.
Barney Calvert's never lost too much, have you, Barney Calvert? He's not even listening to me. It's unbelievable. He made so much money, Kurt, he doesn't have to listen. That's all right.
What's the old joke in the horse business? If you want to make $1 million in the horse business, start with $2 million.
Yeah, the first time I heard that, I was in a doctor's office, and he asked me what I did, and I explained to him, and that was it was only a few years ago, and I had not heard it since then. And at first, I thought that's pretty funny, and then I was like, I don't know how I should take this, Doc. I think he's got a point, though.
Provide expert demolition services across Illinois and
Missouri. Of course, now you
For
had the
fast,
horse
friendly
Color
service,
Me
call
Best.
Wayne Decker at
Refresh my memory. What did you pay for him, and what did he end up winning?
Well, I only owned a third of him, though. So I did train him, and I owned a third of him with my late Uncle Charlie. We claimed him for $33,000, and he made just short of $1.5 million.
Amazing. That was truly one of the great stories, and a lot of us had fun following that horse.
Unfortunately, he about a year ago, I had to put him down. He was 29, and don't make me cry. he was a member of the family.
You gave him a good home.
Thank you.
They are at the post, gates rolling. Here comes race 5, the 2-year-old Illinois-bred Colton Gelding Pace in memory of Doc and Faye Downey. The Illinois Standardbred Association all-new colt circuit statewide for 2025. Here they come.
Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street.
On a 3-length lead, 32-1 the time for the opening quarter, 32-1. So Incredible Stevie is your leader. By the way, Incredible Stevie is a half-sister to a former Great Midwest Pace winner, Philly's Revenge. So her big sister has had a lot of success on this track, and she's trying to live up to the big sister's image. Incredible Stevie is your leader as they're halfway home here in race 5. She leads it by just a length. Jazz Party is second. Illini Game Day is third. Blitz Package is fourth. And Private Pepper, fifth. 105 was the time for the half. 105 flat. Back around the turn, past the stable area they go. It is Incredible Stevie with the lead by a length. Jazz Party. Here comes Blitz Package. Blitz Package moves up, third on the outside, still 2 lengths off the lead, though. Followed by Illini Game Day, who got shuffled back into fourth, and Private Pepper, last of the 5, racing about 6 lengths off the lead as they approach the 3/4. Incredible Stevie shows the way. Jazz Party is second, a length and a half, separates the top 2. Blitz Package has lost some ground, but is still in third. 135-4 at the 3/4. 135-4 around the final turn. Incredible Stevie made a break at the start, made that quick recovery, took the lead just before the quarter. Her big sister won the Great Midwest Pace on this track just a couple of years ago, and she's trying to win in her first start, but here comes Jazz Party, and Jazz Party's going to get her. Jazz Party's going to get her. Jazz Party rallies by and wins it by a widening margin of nearly 3 lengths on the line. Still a good effort by Incredible Stevie, who was second, and then Blitz Package third, Illini Game Day fourth, and Private Pepper fifth. The time for the mile, 2:05 flat. 2:05 flat. What a finish. And Jazz Party gets Incredible Stevie, nails that colt on the line. So how about that? A huge congratulations to all of the connections of the winner, including Walt Holmes, Walter Lee Holmes III. You, sir, are a win in your first.
That's the way to start out owning horses, Kurt. If you and I could do that, we'd get one together.
Be nice to have a few of those. By the way, this is unofficial. There is an inquiry. We'll follow up on that in just a moment. And, Tim, my apologies, by the way. I realized, thinking about the runner-up, Incredible Stevie, thinking about the big sister, forgot the fact that this was actually a Colt and gelding race. So just to be clear, these were Colts and geldings, but the big sister, she will be racing here tomorrow. Filly's Revenge will be back here tomorrow, that filly that won her division of the Great Midwest a couple of years ago. But, yes, all Colts and geldings in this division. Incredible Stevie turned in a big effort, but just could not hold off that brush coming down the lane of Jazz Party. But again, an inquiry pending. More in just a moment. And also, Tim, just to clarify, it is a steward's inquiry. Keep in mind, the stewards can launch their own investigation even if there is no claim of foul. And a lot of times the stewards will do this, and in this case, with the benefit of our friends from Harness Tube, a lot of times the steward can go back and review the race footage. So what it is, the stewards have informed us here in the judges' stand that there is an inquiry focusing on the unofficial runner-up, number 2, Incredible Stevie. Made that break at the start. The stewards just want to go back, look at the video, make sure that nobody else was interfered with. But the winner's fine. The winner is good. So, Jamaica, you're good to go, buddy. You're good.
Jamaica, if you didn't hear Kurt, you're good. It's not on you. It's on the second place finisher.
He's just leaving.
Well, I'll give the pick a winner, Kurt, while Judge Callahan's reviewing the video. The winner is going to go to, and again, I'm brutal with names, so bear with me, Alicia Roush. Uh-oh, I may have really butchered it.
And also, Tim, the stewards have completed their inquiry. There will be no change in order of finish will stand as they crossed the wire. No change in the result. Well, folks, this horseman coming in front of the stands right now, your winning driver, Jamaica Patton, is a great example of why this industry has been important to the state of Illinois. Because this gentleman right here in front of us, he grew up in Clinton, Mississippi, and he began coming to the Illinois fairs. Jamaica, I'm going to guess, were you 18 maybe? 16? He started coming to the Illinois fairs at age 16, and he said, I like it so much, I want to live in Illinois, and he bought a residence in Illinois, and he is an Illinoisan now. How about a hand for Mr. Jamaica Patton? And Jamaica, is this Walt? That's what, Walt? Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Walt. Congratulations, young man.
That is fantastic. Oh, what a feeling, no doubt, to work with horses and be an important part of that stable, and now to be an owner and a winning owner at that. Tim, go right ahead.
Yes, I've confirmed with Miss Diane Reeds that I am not butchering it too bad, we don't think. Alicia Roush, R-O-U-S-E. Is she here? I'm not seeing any hands. Well, we'll hold it for her. We'll hold it for her. Kurt, I'll just hold this for her till we make contact with her, if you want to give that rundown.
Absolutely, Tim, and it is official. Here is the full field rundown from race 5. From the top, Illini Game Day finished 4. Incredible Stevie was the runner-up. Blitz Package was 3rd. Private Pepper 5, and Jazz Party was the winner. The quarter 32-1, the half in 105, 3/4 135 and 4, and the mile in 205 flat. Reads down 4-2-3-5-1. Congratulations to all 3 owners: Jamaica Patton of Rochester, Illinois, who's also your trainer driver, Marquesta McAllister of Garrison, Texas, and of course Walter Lee Holmes III of Madison, Mississippi. Also, congratulations to the Jeffers Farm of Flat Rock as they bred that winning 2-year-old colt who is by Party at Arts Place. He was a $5,000 yearling at the Illini Classic. Race 6 coming up.
All right, David, if you wanted to handicap this.
On race 6?
On race 6, and I'll change the driver.
Okay.
If I can spell Jaquavian.
It's somewhere in the program if you need help. But looking ahead, we have race 6 coming up, the 3-year-old filly trot in the Illinois Standardbred Association. This being the H.T. Bennett Memorial.
Which one was he driving again?
I don't know.
Sorry to interrupt.
Little Bunny Frou Frou, does that sound right?
We'll catch it.
We'll go with it, yeah. Yep. We'll figure it out. So we have the H.T. Bennett Memorial, the 6th race, going for a purse, 1 mile trot for a purse of $4,818, $4,818. Let's go to David's picture real quick. I went on top to the 1, Trixie's Sugar Baby in Darla Martin. We've seen this horse a lot last year. We've seen how she can be a steady force at these fair circuits, and I think off the rail here, hopefully going to pick up a win. My second choice, the 3 for Tuss Teaton, however you say that, for Jerome Daniels. My third choice, Shady Maple Becky. This horse changed barns. We'll see what the Detwilders can do with it. I think last year the Avenetti clan had this horse. I have your picks. I'll go ahead and read them off. The Surratt picks are as follows. They both went with the 2-horse Owa She Name for the win. Travis Hickman for Roshan Trigg. And their second choice, they went on top to Trixie's Sugar Baby and Darla Martin. Steve went to Tuss Teaton for a third choice, while Lisa went a different direction. She went down to Shady Maple Becky, that the old Avenetti and Detweiler connections now, and see if you can come up with a third in today's 6th race.
All right, I'm just trying to look at drivers, if you can figure out which one that
Jaquavian's on. I want to say Little Bunny Frou Frou is what I had heard, but I will look to see if
5 is what I remember, but I'm not
5
sure.
horse, he's on right there.
Okay. Jaquavian's on the 5. I'll get that changed in the program.
Isaac Love on the 3. Is he out here? No, wrong horse. He's warming up.
And again, Jaquavian in the program, so I should be able to do that. Anything else you want to talk about, David?
Yeah, I don't know if we got it quite on camera or for what we saw, but that exciting race, that last race, when they got about halfway down the stretch, Jamaica knew that he had the momentum to go ahead and pass Incredible Stevie, and he just turned his head and just looked at Mikey Rogers the whole way down that last half of the stretch. In a friendly, taunting manner. Those two have been racing against each other for 25, 30 years, good buddies. So it was fun to see a little fun sportsmanship and gamesmanship out there on the track. You think we do this our whole lives and it's just a job, but it still is as fun as ever whenever you get those big wins. So congrats to the connections. And then the new owner, Walt.
Absolutely. It's good to have new owners. Folks, you can own as little as what, 1% of a horse?
Yes. There are options out there where you can own as little as 1%. There might be some smaller than that, but just if you have any interest, reach out to somebody you know, somebody on Harness Tube, somebody in the judges stand, whomever. And the horse community will welcome you with open arms and figure out how to way to get you what you are looking for, whether it be a part of a horse.
That wasn't
maybe.
Good.
That was a free monitor. I'm not too worried about it.
Okay, and it still works.
You can't kill that thing. That monitor came out of Mom's shop, and it's still working fine. So.
Yep, that one's got to go back in. Thank you. Okay, well. There we go. We'll see what happens here. If I screwed anything up, David. Nope, I'm still
We're good.
to
See,
go.
I love it.
Better not to sit down.
I had to stand up.
Well, house of cards back here is what we
today,
have.
Yeah. Today's been one thing after another.
We're okay. No, we're fine.
We got monitors falling off. We got connection issues.
It's a house of cards back here.
The accounts aren't signed in right. I mean, everything that could go wrong is showing its head.
It's the jitters I get from being around Bears fans. I'm a Minnesota Viking fan. Yes. Yeah.
What? Justin Jefferson. Okay, this new generation. I get it. Okay, I'll give you that. You don't hear many Vikings fans anymore.
No. All right. Well, David, let's put him back on, and we'll come back to some other stuff the next time.
Sounds good.
3 2/5. The 5, Little Bunny Frou Frou, was 6th on Friday afternoon. identical beaten time of 2:03 and 2. And the 6-horse, Shady Maple Becky, she was actually withdrawn from her race. So the past performance lines are current in your track program. Tim, I don't know if you remember this. I'm old enough to remember when used to a horse was not a scratch. They were drawn, short for withdrawn. They weren't scratched until the second heat. Remember when we used to go 2 heats? The old Midwestern Illinois Racing Association, they were sticklers on that point. When they would announce, if you went over there to announce at the start of the day for the first heat, a horse was never scratched, they were announced as drawn, and it would be written DR in your program. But if they raced the first heat but didn't come back for the second heat, then they were considered a scratch. If it sounds confusing, it is.
I'm a little confused right now.
Right now, saved by the bell, Timmy. Race 6, starters are out.
Of course, it doesn't take much, I've been told, to confuse me, Kurt.
And the post parade forming up for race 6, the 3-year-old filly trot for the Illinois Standardbred Association, the H.T. Bennett Memorial. A reminder, the driver of the 5, Little Bunny Frou Frou, is Jaquavian Carter. We'll meet the starters in just a moment.
Kurt, I'd like to give some shout-outs. I happened to check my phone here. My little brother, Carter Wilson, watching on Harness Tube, along with Phil Knox. Most people in the horse business know him as Mingo. And another owner of mine, Mark Eichberger from Chicago, all watching. So we're glad to have them. And pass it on to everybody that you know. Let's get some good attendance on the Harness Tube site for these guys. They do a heck of a job.
And a reminder, if you visit their Facebook page, you can pull up their schedule for the entire summer. Field is headed up the backstretch toward the starting gate, so let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup here in race 6, the 3-year-old filly trot. 1, Trixie Sugar Baby, owned by Chuck Doring of Brownstown, co-owned by the trainer-driver Darla Martin Lohman of Effingham. 2, Oh Wash She Name, owned and trained by Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi, the driver Travis Seekman. 3, Two's Teaton, owned, trained, and driven by Jerome Daniels of Springfield. 4, Exhibition, owned by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown, the driver Chris Brown. 5, Little Bunny Frou Frou, owned by Jacob and Elizabeth Radel of Edgewood, trained by Jacob Radel. Driver is Jaquavian Carter. And number 6, Shady Maple Becky, owned and trained by Marcus Detweiler of Sullivan, and he is also the driver at the post. Gate is rolling. H.T. Bennett, we remember the gentleman who played a key role in bringing the Great Midwest Trot and Pace to the Martinsville Agricultural Fair. More about that in just a moment. In the meantime, Exhibition made a break as they were on the turn, approaching the 8th pole, and once again is off stride. Here they come, coming down for the start of the H.T. Bennett Memorial, remembering a key figure in the history of this fair and of the Great Midwest. They are off and trotting, and there goes Trixie Sugar Baby from the inside. Oh, Wash She Name is off stride. A quick move by Shady Maple Becky from the far outside starting spot to clear a lot of that inside traffic, and now drops over along the inside lane in second. So, Trixie Sugar Baby, your leader, and then Shady Maple Becky will go in second position as they head on to the backstretch. Two's Teaton is third. A gap of 5 more lengths back to Little Bunny Frou Frou in fourth. A gap of 6 more back of that one to Oh, Wash She Name in fifth. And Exhibition is off stride again, the distant trailer in sixth. As the leader goes by the quarter, Trixie Sugar Baby is the leader. 32 and 2 for the opening quarter, 32 and 2/5 seconds. Trixie Sugar Baby on top by a length and a half. Shady Maple Becky goes second by just 1 length. As Two's Teaton is racing in third. Oh, Wash She Name moves up the inside lane into fourth past Little Bunny Frou Frou, who broke stride at the 3/8 mile mark and is now in fifth. Exhibition pulled up. She's fine. She's on her feet, but Chris Brown is taking her back to the stable area. Please note, number 4 Exhibition has left the racetrack under her own power, but will not finish. 104-3 for the first half mile. 104-3. Back past the stable area they go with Darla Martin Lohman leading here with Trixie Sugar Baby. Owash She Name is moving from 4th to 3rd to challenge for 2nd, a length and a half off the lead. After 5/8 of a mile, Trixie Sugar Baby is the leader by a length and a half. Shady Maple Becky fights back along the inside lane in 2nd. Owash She Name is now losing ground. Little Bunny Frou Frou 3 wide, going from 5th to 4th to challenge for 3rd as they move by the 3/4, 136, but still a good 8 lengths off the lead. Back up front, Trixie Sugar Baby is your leader. 1/8 of a mile to go. Leads it by 3 lengths. The lead continues to grow as they turn for home. Shady Maple Becky is 2nd by a length and a half. It is Trixie Sugar Baby, who led right from the start, never looked back, draws clear in the stretch. Darla Martin Lohman in the race bike. Trixie Sugar Baby opens up and wins it by 4 lengths on the line. Shady Maple Becky was 2nd, and then it was Two's Teaton in 3rd, followed by Little Bunny Frou Frou in 4th. Owash She Name was 5th, and again, Exhibition pulled up, went back to the barn under her own power, but did not finish the race. 2:06-4, the time for the mile. 2:06-4, your unofficial winner, number 1, Trixie's Sugar Baby.
Kurt, yeah, I'm glad you pointed out the 4 pulled up, but seemed to be fine. Maybe we had a piece of broken equipment. Just want everybody to know the horse is fine, nothing wrong with it. It looked perfectly fine trotting back to the barn there, so just so everyone is aware, there is no problem with the 4. I think he just broke some equipment. When this rundown's official, Kurt, I'm going to introduce Fair Board President Bob Zellers. Would like to thank Bob personally, and everybody here, well, I'm sure would like to, that loves horse racing. If we notice, we've got 2 days. We always said we were working on it. I didn't know if it ever happened, but we went from 4 days of racing back when the heyday of racing here at the Martinsville Fair down to 1, and we're working back the right direction. So my personal thanks to Bob myself right now. Bob, thank you very much.
It is the first time in 10 years that the Martinsville Agricultural Fair has scheduled more than 1 day of racing, and that is fantastic. How about the Top Line Stakes coming back this year? First time in about the same length of time, about 10 years since we've seen the Top Line. And we talked about this race being the H.T. Bennett Memorial. He was one of the individuals who played a key role years ago in purchasing the rights to the Great Midwest Trot and Pace and bringing it from Chicago to the Martinsville Agricultural Fair. And the reason we point that out, and there's the blanket, Darla Martin Lohman, she is going for a double tomorrow because she has a horse in both the Great Midwest Trot and the Great Midwest Pace. So, Darla, we want to wish you and all the horsemen all the best for the Great Midwest. Thank you for supporting that marvelous series of races. Congratulations. Doing well. Nice to see you all. How about a hand for the winner, Trixie Sugar Baby? You're good here, Judge? Yes, sir. Thank you. 2:06-4, the time for the mile. Here's the full field rundown. It is official. Trixie Sugar Baby, the winner. Owash She Name finished 5. Two's Teaton was 3rd. Exhibition did not finish. Little Bunny Frou Frou finished 4th. And Shady Maple Becky was the runner-up. The quarter, 32-2. The half, 104-3. 3/4, 136. And the mile, 2:06-4. Reads down 153. DNF 4-2. Congratulations to owners Chuck Doring of Brownstown and Darla Martin Lohman of F.
2166.
Wait before you go and get your snacks and drinks. Make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
Make plans now to attend the Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Monitor over here.
David's trying to give you a little peek at the grandstands
that
they've done great work on here, as they've put in all new seating.
Sure
I've got a bag on my tripod over here. Sorry.
If you can't do that,
yeah, they put in a whole new benches, paint job, new roof. It looks like.
To the show.
Was it last year? Was the grand opening there, or the
yes.
unveiling of it?
Yes.
Had a nice turnout for that. A great ceremony. You know, when you see fairs invest money and try to improve their programs and like they were just like Tim and Kurt were saying, growing this fair back to the size it was at one time, you know, not many people are trying to think that it, you know, forward thinking and be proactive to try to
make plans now to attend the Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
On
Come
top,
join us and finish the
out of
summer
the Denny
strong.
Gardner and Travis Seekman combination. Second choice down to Luz Magnum. I don't see Brandon Bates here. I don't know who's driving the 4-horse, but I'll keep an eye on that for you. My third choice, Fox Valley Luger for Demarius Wakefield and John Smith.
Okay.
Do you have yours? Okay, sorry. I keep forgetting I have yours.
Let's see. Lisa picked.
Ads are overlapping again.
Send it, Emmett.
Steve.
Huh?
Ads are overlapping again, maybe.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home.
Okay.
Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
You're trying to just teach them. But as they get older and they're 6 and 7, they need to hit what we call hit the board at least 50% of the time, or they probably need to find a new home.
I think we got her covered now, David. I don't know why it keeps changing and things keep happening with that, but as we go back to it here, let's see. In race 7, Lisa picked Send It Emmett for first. Second, Fox Valley Luger, which I picked to be first.
Luger, I don't see who's driving Luger yet. I'm looking. Is it Jaquavian? Is he on something?
I don't know. Let's see if they do it.
Where do folks come up with the names of these horses? You've probably heard that over the years, and I know I have, which is always kind of fun. I always appreciate the curiosity people have. Number 3 in this race, Maple Grove Patrick. That owner, Joseph Mullins, puts the name Maple Grove on everything he races. And we asked Mr. Mullins a couple of years ago about the background. He told us, and we mentioned this because those of you in particular that are of Irish heritage might especially appreciate this. Mr. Mullins told us that Maple Grove, Wisconsin, is where his ancestors came when they immigrated from Ireland to the U.S. They originally came to New York and then moved on to Wisconsin. So Irish immigrants were a big part of why Maple Grove, Wisconsin was formed as a community. And those immigrants left Ireland. That was because of the potato famine. And that had such a worldwide impact on reshaping a lot of countries. So potato famine happens in Ireland. Mr. Mullins' ancestors, they come to the U.S. They helped settle Maple Grove, Wisconsin. So that's why he always puts Maple Grove on the names of his horses.
That's interesting, and I would love to hear more stories of that, how people come up with either a certain name or a farm name that they add, like he does on every horse. Now, if he sells that horse a yearling, of course, before it's raced, you can change a horse's name. Once the horse has been issued eligibility papers, you are not allowed to change the standardbred's name. The only way you can use the same name twice is if, I think the horse has to have been passed away for at least 20 years. So it can get a little challenging after all these years of horse racing to come up with a name sometimes. But everybody seems to come up with some clever names, and I'm always impressed by that. Real quick then, Kurt, while we're waiting, give me an all-time favorite name real quick off the top of your head.
Oh, that's a tough one. I always thought that the horse that ran second to Secretariat in the Kentucky Derby, of course, this goes back to 1973, that was a thoroughbred Sham. Well done, our presiding judge, Randy Callahan. I always liked the name Sham because it was short and simple, and his sire was Pretense. And if somebody pulls off a sham, which is similar to a scam, they do it under a false pretense. So I always thought that was a clever name. Harness racing, I'll tell you my favorite name. It just dawned on me. I always loved the Marx Brothers. Remember the old the slapstick comedians? One of them, the silent one that never spoke, Harpo.
Yeah, Harpo. Yeah.
Years ago, there was a pacer by the sire Slapstick out of a dam named Speechless, and they named the colt Harpo. And I thought that was absolutely a brilliant name. Right now, the starters are out for race 7. And then, Tim, after the post parade, I want to come back to you because I want to hear from you about your favorite racing names. So give that some thought. Here come the starters for race 7. This is the Lowell Bennett Memorial, the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old colt and gelding trot. A reminder, no scratches, but Jill Brown drives the 4 Luz Magnum. Number 1, Send It Emmett, owned and trained by Dennis Gardner of West Salem, Travis Seekman in the bike. 2, Fox Valley Luger, owned by John Smith of Flowood, Mississippi. He's the trainer, Demarius Wakefield the driver. 3, Maple Grove Patrick, owned by Joseph Mullins, now of Eagle, Wisconsin, trained and driven by Jamaica Patton. 4, Luz Magnum is owned by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, trained and driven today by Jill Brown. And 5, Lou Beduino, owned by the Flacco family farms, trained by Jill Brown. Her husband, Chris, is the driver. All right, Tim, so I gave you Sham from the thoroughbred business and Harpo from the harness business. How about you? Any favorite racehorse names?
Well, of course, my all-time favorite is going to be Color Me Best. I can't help it. But clever-wise, I will give my partner, Ann Calvert, and I'm going to give one that she's named, and the filly never really amounted nothing too much. She broke down, unfortunately, very early. Her name was Faye Dunaway. She was a Duneside Perch, so she named her Faye Dunaway. Can I give the other? Is Barney? He's not even listening. There's another name, but he doesn't want somebody to take it. I'm going to get permission after this race to see if I can tell everybody this name, because if Ann would see somebody else name this horse, I'm going to be in real trouble. But it's very clever. I think if I can give away the secret, I'll let you know.
I tell you, it's going to be tough to top Faye Dunaway. That's very clever. Tim talking about the fact the sire of that filly was Duneside Perch, and you think about the well-known actress Faye Dunaway. So naming that filly Faye Dunaway, very clever indeed. And I'm with Tim. I always enjoy hearing folks give the background on where they did come up with these names. So if you're not someone that's directly part of this harness racing industry, we love hearing the questions, because so often the questions that come from folks that did not grow up in the business or that are not involved directly as an owner or what have you, those questions are always of great interest, because a lot of times it causes us to stop and think. I don't know how many times folks have asked me about, well, why does the harness racing business do X? And I'll have to admit ignorance. I'll have to say, I need to research it. I have to get back to you. So always fun to get the questions from the general public, and we're fun to have you here today, folks. It's wonderful to have you, whether you're here on site at the fair or here at Martinsville, or joining us through our friends online at Harness Tube. Right now, they are at the post, the gates rolling, the Lowell Bennett Memorial, race 7 of the 10 in today's program. Great day of racing. How fortunate have we been that the rain has avoided us. There have been cells of showers to the north and to the south. We talked about the fact it delayed the start of the Indy 500. So far, so good. Maybe brought it up too soon? Yeah, I should have waited till after race 10, shouldn't I? Here they come, race 7. Problems for Send It Emmett, who's off stride. The rest are off and trotting, and there goes Fox Valley Luger. Fox Valley Luger right out for the early lead. Maple Grove Patrick is away in the second position. Luz Magnum is away third. Oh, and the leader's off stride, Fox Valley Luger. So Fox Valley Luger on a break. Send It Emmett is on a break. And through it all, Maple Grove Patrick just carefully moved by along the inside lane to take over the lead by a length over Luz Magnum. And second a length, Lou Beduino is third. Now Send It Emmett closing ground quickly. Back on the trot now and has caught the top 3. Right there with those 3 as they go by the quarter is Send It Emmett. And then the distant trailer, Fox Valley Luger. 33-3. So the 3s are wild for the opening quarter. 33-3. Send It Emmett off stride again. He was starting to make a move, thought he was going to challenge for the lead, but he broke stride over on that far turn. Maple Grove Patrick, he's just minding his manners, trotting along, and as a result, he's got the lead. But here comes a challenge. Lou Beduino moves up, and Lou Beduino just moves right on by. So a challenge and change for the lead just before the half. Lou Beduino takes over. Stablemate Luz Magnum is now challenging for second outside of Maple Grove Patrick. 105-1 was the time for the half. 105-1, and now Maple Grove Patrick is off stride while racing along in that third position. So let's do a reset here. After 5/8 of a mile, Lou Beduino is the leader, and he's opened up by just better than 3 lengths. Stablemate Luz Magnum is second. Then there's a gap of 6 more lengths. Maple Grove Patrick is third. Then a gap of over 10 more. Send It Emmett off stride fourth, and 20 more back to Fox Valley Luger, who is fifth. 136-1, the time at the 3/4, 136-1. Midway around the final turn as they sweep down the side of the course, Lou Beduino and Chris Brown leading it by 3 lengths. Lou's Magnum with Chris's wife, Jill Brown, in second. Now taking to the outside, will it be Chris? Will it be Jill? Husband versus wife, and it's going to be Jill who's going to win this race. Lou's Magnum trots right on by for the victory and won it by nearly 3 lengths on the line. It was Lou Beduino who settled for second, Maple Grove Patrick third. Then it was Send It Emmett fourth, and Fox Valley Luger fifth. We'll check the time for the mile. .208 and 2. 208 and 2/5 of a second. Your winner, number 4, Lou's Magnum. Second career win, first win for Lou's Magnum of 2025. And Jill Brown gets the better of her husband, Chris. That should make for some interesting conversation around the dinner table later tonight. Again, the time for the mile, 2:08 and 2. Tim, I think racing fans might remember it was just 1 year ago that Jill Brown made that rally down the stretch from third and won the Great Midwest Trot, driving a horse by the name of Lou's Gambler. And that horse went on to have a pretty nice year. Actually went on to win a little over $40,000 last season and is now racing in New York and has earned over $50,000 for his new owners this year. So Jill Brown has her own special connection to the Martinsville Agricultural Fair.
The Browns have been racing here many years, Kurt. We were glad to see Jill win that last year and was very excited for her. And I think I heard her say to Chris when she was passing him there, I think she said something about, bye-bye.
Well, here she is now, folks. How about a hand?
I saw that, but we weren't going to mention that, Jill. I don't think he needs the trot and hobbles.
And there's the applause for Jill Brown with Lou's Magnum. Congratulations, Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, Richard and Arlene, and Rick and Tabby Flacco, homebred by their flagship stallion, Lou's Legacy, out of Lima Sunlight by Broadway Hall. Jill Brown grew up in a racing family, and her dad, Jack James, you might remember if those silks, those colors look familiar, that's because Jill wears the same colors her dad wore. He won a lot of races around the fair circuit. Jill, congratulations, carrying on the family tradition. Judge, are we official? Thank you, sir. Here's the rundown, Tim. It's official. Send It Emmett finished 4th. Fox Valley Luger 5. Maple Grove Patrick was 3rd. Lou's Magnum the winner. Lou Beduino the runner-up. The quarter, 33 and 3. The half, 105 and 2. 3/4, 136 and 1. And the mile, 208 and 2. And it reads down 4-5-3-1-2. So now we move on to the 8th race. No scratches in race 8. Tim, one final note on race 7, the Lowell Bennett Memorial. Always enjoyed knowing Lowell. He very much loved this game, loved this fair. And Lowell, we've talked about the fact that in addition to his role as a businessman, he was also an investigator for the Illinois Department of Agriculture. So when you had a foal born at your farm, he would come to visit you. He would make sure that you filled out the form properly and crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. I know farm owners always said they loved when he would come to their farm because they knew they were going to have fun talking racing.
He was a great guy, and believe it or not, Kurt, if he was still alive, he'd have been 99 this year. So rest easy, Lowell. My race 7 winner is Dave Hartman. Dave, can you wave your hand? Okay, thank you.
Oh, well, did we get through all of our slides?
10.
Now, Kurt, I'm going to turn it over to Diane.
David, that was a good race, and little fun there with Darla with her.
Jill
with her husband.
And, and Kurt made a good point, too, about how Jill's wearing her dad's colors and her dad's helmet. I think the first year when she was kind of driving, first year harness tube, I mentioned that note. And Jack James was a good friend of the family of the Bowens. They stabled next to us down at DuQuoin often. And to see Jill carry on that tradition, her and Chris have a nice big stable. To see her doing well and picking up drives and competing, she won some amateur races, doing well down in amateur divisions down at Oak Grove and stuff. And it's good to see some local. What other sport do women compete against the men and beat them?
Yeah,
I mean, I love it. It's so cool.
It's an even playing field.
It's even, and sometimes women have the advantage because they're maybe a little more sensitive to the animal and can communicate, and get along with it better.
Not to start a controversy, but this is not a sport that the sex makes a difference of the person behind.
In fact, in Chicago in the 70s and 80s, there was a great female driver named Bea Farber. And then if you go back even further, Travis Siekman's wife, Desiree, her grandmother or great-grandmother was a lady named Grandma Burright.
Okay.
And Grandma Burright raced in Chicago, Maywood Park in like 1940s and 50s. And she was training and driving at like 60 years old after raising 4 kids.
Wow.
I mean, incredible story, and did it at a very high level. It's amazing to see women compete with men, and it doesn't matter about it's a competitive sport. They're out here having fun. But, at the end of the day, it's an even playing field, and the horse is a horse. So,
David, let's talk about some things. We haven't had a lot of time to talk because the track people are doing such a great job here.
I love the Kurt and Tim show. If we could have them follow us everywhere, Kurt's insight and Tim's little sparring comments, it's a great program.
Absolutely. And we want to tell people a couple of things. Thank you for your generous donations. We've already had people donate for this year for Harness Tube. We're on the air free. That's what we want to keep it. It costs a little bit.
Yes,
By the time we come down here, drive down here, get a place to stay. And I'll tell you, David and I, or at least I am when I'm looking at places, we're pretty frugal.
We are.
I mean, we're spending probably $100 less a night because we did a B&B.
Yeah, we don't. This isn't a big corporate outfit. We are full-time jobs, and we do this on the side, and we love it, and we do it because we're passionate about it. And Steve and Lisa, broadcast 250, 300 games a year for Brown County and BC Hornet Sports. And their expertise, it's just been a great marriage of worlds, I'll say.
Well, the expertise hasn't been too good today because we forgot things and trying to get back in the harness ring. And we run through this, David, when we start in the fall doing football, junior high stuff. Your first time out, you haven't done it for a while.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's still getting things up. If you look at our counter, this is a house of cards here, ready to go down. But thank you for your donations.
We appreciate
to
it
the
so
cause.
much.
That can help out a lot, as I can try to, as it's a little cooler today.
Advance.
Yeah, advance. See
Okay.
if you can advance that.
Yeah, I got some little fingers over here.
Yeah, here's the way to make that donation. You can shoot that
QR code,
or go to Venmo, and it's at Harness Tube. PayPal at Harness Tube, or you can send an old-fashioned check.
Absolutely, and I get a lot of checks in the mail, which is okay because I think our fan base is a little older and they like writing hand checks.
Or you can send a check
here
across
comes
the
Tim's
track
Philly.
from us.
I'm listening to Tim's Philly real quick.
Yelled at by Mrs. Calvert, and that's never any fun. But her name that she has came up with that we've never used yet is Martina McStride. After Martina McBride. So I always thought that was very clever. So please, somebody who hears this, don't name the horse that. I may be kicked out of the family.
Independence Day, she used to sing. Remember that?
Tim, I don't recall right offhand.
Good song. Good artist.
Okay. Well, the other thing is, once you can do that, you can bring it across the track to us. Subscribe and follow, folks. That helps us out with a lot of stuff with Facebook and with YouTube. If you subscribe, if you're watching us today, go to, I believe it's right under the screen on the right-hand side, hit that subscribe button. The other thing, you can set it to where it notifies you when we go on the air.
Absolutely.
And so I'll do that for us. And let's take a look at this last one because we want to talk about.
I'm going to go ahead and bring this up real quick.
Yep.
Whoa, I'm going to pull up these times off the screen. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about this bill we have in the Senate committee. So we want to go ahead and we have this IHHA is the Illinois Harness Horsemen's Association. They've been working diligently to advance legislation to try to help the harness racing in the state. There is a bill out there, Senate Bill 1473 is in the executive committee on Wednesday, and we would appreciate any kind of help. There's a QR code on the screen. You can follow, take you right to a witness slip. If you're a horse fan and you want to support and file a slip as a proponent of the new bill, Help Save Horse Racing, we would sure appreciate any kind of help there. And I'll get it back to Kurt then, or the screen, but yeah.
Absolutely. We need to be doing that, folks. If
it's
we can
crucial.
Get harness, if we can change, this will change the face of harness racing in Illinois.
I will say, horse fans have been asking me for years, what can we do to help? This is the time. This is the call to action. File those witness slips. Call your House reps. Call your senators, because the bill exists, and it's hopefully going to move this week.
Here's the thing I will tell you. Yes, we have horsemen going up, and I'm going to be specific here to Chicago.
Yes.
To the races at Hawthorne. Lisa and I went to Hawthorne last year.
Mm-hmm.
We were so disappointed in the overall experience. I will not go back to Hawthorne to watch a race.
Yeah.
I had to watch from the first turn outside at a picnic table and could not see the finish line. The stands are not done. It's not a good fan experience. Any county fair we have
are so warm and welcoming.
It is a better fan experience than anything there. If I was going to go watch a harness race, I would be going out of state. My next move is to go to Hoosier Park. But I tell you what, when there's racing at the fairgrounds,
come on
I go. If they open a Racino in Decatur
somewhere,
I will be there on a regular basis. And folks, I don't bet. I'm going to eat, and I'm going to watch harness racing and support the thing. You do not have to be a bettor for one of those things to happen. You can go and enjoy the race day and have some fun with yourself. Lisa and I sit in the stands with a program. We pick horses between ourselves, and we do all that. Folks, this is needed so local Central Illinois fans can go watch harness racing, and so the harness racing industry can prosper.
Yes, we need 2 tracks in the state. You know, we've been constricted down, and unfortunately in the state we're 2 breeds, thoroughbreds and standardbreds, sharing 1 track, which just doesn't work. You know, you both can't race in the summer during stake season. You both can't race at the same time on the same tracks. You both can't be on the grounds at the same time. So splitting 1 track isn't the right answer. We've been working diligently for 3 or 4 years to try to come up with some solutions. And I think this year hopefully this is the time, because we're on the finish line. We're pushing towards the goal, and horses at the gate. And I think if you have been waiting for a call to action on how to help Illinois horse racing, this is it.
David, are we at?
They're about ready to turn to the gate, I think.
Okay. All right, we'll tell you our picks after we get done, but we'll go back to the track announcers.
Well, I'm going to change.
Gene used to race a lot here at Martinsville, but I would go with Art's Place. If you're going to pin me down, I would say he was the most impressive pacer I ever called, and I'm going to give the trotting side a little more thought. Tim, how about you? Any that come to your mind?
I was going to go with Art's Place myself. Because of the 2-year-old mile that he did at Pompano, it was colder than it is here today. It was very windy. He was parked most of the mile and then just drew off and by 10 and crushed a great field of horses. Also, not to forget the amazing jug pace that he had when he was literally parked the mile, and then that great 3-horse photo. That was an amazing race with Riyadh and Life Sign and himself. That was an unbelievable. A head separated those 3 at the wire after. That was just goosebump stuff right there. Yeah.
Art's Place truly was a tremendous racehorse and sire and broodmare sire. Thanks to our friends at Darcy's, the official presenting sponsor for Race 8, the 3-year-old filly Pace, lined up, ready to go. Here they come. They are off and pacing. There goes Shady Maple Bridget out for the early lead. Frontier Fantasy is away second. Truly a winner. Comes out third from between horses. Arcase Mac sneaks up the inside. A very quick move up the inside lane from fourth to third to second, and a very heads-up move by driver Travis Siekman, starting from that second tier and not wanting her to get buried in traffic as they head up the backstretch. Shady Maple Bridget is the leader. Here comes a challenge and change for the lead. Frontier Fantasy is going to move up on the outside as they go on by the quarter-mile mark. Truly a Winner is also moving up on the outside into second as they go by the quarter 30 and 4/5 seconds, the fastest opening quarter on the day thus far. Side by side for the lead, Truly a Winner at the 3/8 mile mark is on the outside, and Frontier Fantasy is on the inside. They go stride for stride as they come toward the half-mile mark. That lead battle continues with RK's Mac moving up third on the outside of Shady Maple Bridget, who is moving up a closer fourth and now challenging for third along the inside lane. Looking Lovely is fifth, YF Treva is sixth, and Gorgeous Stella, first career start, is seventh. A minute and 4/5 was the time for the first half mile, a minute and 4/5. It is Frontier Fantasy who shows the way and leads it once again by a length. Truly a Winner, second between horses. Shady Maple Bridget, third to the inside. RK's Mac is gearing up with a 3-wide move. Look at RK's Mac on the far outside. Goes to third, goes to second, challenges for the lead. Truly a Winner's not finished yet. She's fighting on between horses, and you still have Frontier Fantasy saving the ground along the inside lane. 1:32 the time at the 3/4. 1:32. It is Frontier Fantasy who through every challenge with an eighth of a mile to go has the lead by a length and a half. RK's Mac is second on the outside. Truly a Winner's back toward the inside in third. They've got to catch Frontier Fantasy, and she's hanging tough. Frontier Fantasy leads it by 2. Frontier Fantasy's going to win this race. She wins the Darcy's race for Jaquavian Carter by 2.5 lengths. Truly a Winner second. RK's Mac was third, and then it was Looking Lovely across the line. And fourth, YF Treva was fifth. Shady Maple Bridget backed up to sixth, and Gorgeous Stella was seventh. Fastest mile so far on the day, 2:02 and 1/5. 2:02 and a fifth. And again, your winner, number 2, Frontier Fantasy.
Hi. You want to talk on the microphone?
Say hi.
Say hi to everybody.
Say hi, everybody. Yeah, say hi.
Well, David, till Kurt kicks back up here, a good race, that race.
Fat man getting the win. Jaquavian, that filly, that Frontier Fantasy, I watched her a little bit last year. I want to say,
Kurt, I might point out for the people who don't follow our sport again as much as I think everybody should. The 7-horse was the trailer in that race, so I believe that was the first time we had a trailer today. That horse, if he's the only trailer, has the choice to score out of wherever he wants on the gate, as long as he is not on the gate and he is trailing all the horses. So if he so desires to start out behind the 5-horse or whichever horse, if you'll see it at the big track sometime, if a trailer is a heavy favorite, he will try to pick the horse that he thinks is going to the front, so he can just follow him out of there like Travis did the 1-horse there. And then as soon as he gets clear daylight, he's going to pull his horse and go right to the front so he can control the race. Any more in standardbred racing, as you noticed here today, the horses on the front end, especially on a half-mile track, have a big advantage. But in general, in harness racing, it's turned out you always want to be second over before or get a 2-hole trip. Now all the top horses like to be on the front end. Kurt?
Well, it's a training double today for Jamaica Patton, and the winning driver is 20 years of age, Mr. Jaquavian Carter. How about a hand for Frontier Fantasy? And there's the owner, Linda Allhands, down trackside, getting ready to greet her winning pacer, a 3-year-old Captain Trevor filly, out of Smashbox by Mach 3, bred by the Frontier Farms. Filly wins for the 3rd time in her career. Our thanks to our friends at Darcy's here in Martinsville, scrapbooks and a whole lot more. Fun place. Darcy's, thank you so much for sponsoring the blanket for Race 8. And Tim touched on a very important point about having the front end, having the lead, especially on a half-mile track. When you go around twice, so you've got to navigate 4 turns total in the mile, Jaquavian Carter really gave Frontier Fantasy a huge advantage by being on the front end and being able to save all that ground around all 4 of those turns. Judge, are we official here? Thank you, sir. Here's the full field rundown. Shady Maple Bridget was 6. Frontier Fantasy, the winner. Gorgeous Stella was 7. Truly a winner, the runner-up. Looking Lovely finished 4th. YF Treva 5. RK's Mac finished 3. The quarter, 30 and 4/5 of a second. Again, the opening quarter, 30 and 4/5. The half in a minute, 4/5. 3 quarters and 132. The mile, 2:02 and a 1/5. It reads down 6:17, 2:45.3. The 9th race is coming up. There is a drive on the 5 Bold Victor. That'll be Chris Brown. Chris Brown drives the 5 Bold Victor. No scratches in this 9th race. Tim, again, our thanks to the folks.
All right, let's talk about our picks, David. That was a wonderful, wonderful race there.
Yeah.
And we're almost done for the day.
I keep thinking when Kurt's up, okay, I gotta start watching the board a little better.
Yeah.
Good to see our chat. We got Pebbles batting in there, cheering for Fat Man Jaquavian over there. I want to bring up another comment real quick. It was good to see, I threw up on the screen, Terry Hills over there. I see him in the grandstand front row. First year we came down here, he came up and introduced himself. So thankful for our broadcast. He mentioned how he used to get the box seat in the front row every year and watch the Martinsville races, and how his kids were able to watch with him from across the state and tune in and kind of feel like they were doing it back when they were young kids again, and attending the fair with Dad. So we appreciate Terry here and his kids watching, following along. It's really cool to see the generational passed down, the enjoyment of horse racing passed down from generation to generation.
It is, and it's a generational thing. And the more we're around people, we understand that there are a lot of things coming back into vogue.
Yes.
And it's because they are childhood memories. I mean, we went through Jacksonville, and you reminisce about things. You go through town, and I remember when, and, boomer generation's getting older, but the next generation coming up doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's the simple things in life.
It is.
Remembering a camping trip with your dad, a fishing trip, a vacation, going to the fair. Lisa still talks about her family trekking to the fair circuit.
From fair to fair. And
fair to fair.
It was a lifestyle, right?
And those things are great things, and we need to bring those traditions back.
It's great to go to big cities and do sports games and big exciting events and those kind of bells and whistles, but just quality family time, it's small town living. It doesn't get any better in my opinion.
Nope. Well, I was looking on race 8 here. Looks like Lisa is the only person that picked. Did you pick Frontier Fantasy?
No, I picked RK's Mac.
Okay.
I had Frontier Fantasy getting second, but
yeah, Lisa won that last race. Let's talk about this next race coming up.
Okay.
What do we got coming up here in race 9?
Race 9, the first division of 3-year-old Colton Gilding Pacers, going for a purse of $2,649. My picks, I went 4-1-2. I went to He's a Dark Shark on top, joining forces in Matt Evanetti for Brett Wilfong coming over from Indiana, finished in second. My third choice, 3-Lock Box from Sean Ness. And quick question, do you know where 3-Lock Box comes from?
No, I don't.
That is I'm going to get this wrong. That is a Sammy Hagar or Van Halen song. I want to say Hagar song.
Okay.
3-Lock Box.
Here's my thing. Being a musician and a vocalist, I tell people I know parts of thousands, tens of thousands of
I don't
songs.
think Sammy Hagar is your type of guy, but.
I don't know. But song titles, out the door.
You know what?
I just can't remember song titles.
But they make good horse names, don't they?
Oh,
I mean, it's a perfect kind of marriage of fun, playful
You can tell
phrase
boomers are naming horses.
They
because,
are. That's true. That's true.
You look at what the names are, and here's the
Faye
thing.
Dunaway.
If it's rock
My
and
generation
roll,
wouldn't know who Faye Dunaway was.
Oh, really? That's a fact. Okay, so who picked what in this race?
I went 4-1-2. I'll give you your picks back because I always say them wrong when I read them.
Okay, 4-1-2. I went 4-1-3.
Uh-oh.
And Lisa went 4-2.
4-3-1. So you guys just box each other's bets, and I'm throwing the curveball with 3-lock box in here.
All right. Well, we'll go back to the track announcers on this, and we'll get some more commercials and stuff.
Real quick, I want to say, while we have a guest, well, not paying attention now, but we were corrected earlier when you were away from the microphone, in case you weren't aware.
I wasn't aware.
We were corrected. It is pronounced Casey and not Casey.
Well, yeah, it's Casey. I know that.
I was saying it wrong the whole time, and you didn't correct me.
I refuse.
When you left, I had to go.
It's like Leroy. Okay.
Leroy.
It's Leroy.
Leroy. I
know my phonetic spelling. I learned that in school.
You got to ask the locals.
Well,
you got to ask the locals.
I'm sorry. I'm not getting KZ. Okay, I'll get a KZ. But I'm not a big fan of KZ because KZ Westfield usually comes to Brown County
and beats us in football.
But their day's coming.
But I'm glad to be down here in another two-way school, another small area. Here we are, and this feels like home, right?
Yeah, we came down to Cumberland. Isn't that up
Cumberland?
by
That's
Paris?
Greenup. That's Greenup.
Greenup.
Mm-hmm.
Cumberland
County.
1 year to play, and beat Cumberland.
Yeah, well, that's Randy. We'll have to give Randy a hard time for that one. That's over in his neck of the woods.
But 3-4 years ago. But at any rate, wonderful day here. I want to make sure our talk points that we've got through those today too, as we get into number 4 here. David, if you want to change the slide for me there real quick before we get to.
I'm not good at these tiny little.
It's
you
the
have to go
fact
backwards,
that it's
don't
cold.
you?
Were we clear to the end?
Yeah, we were on 10.
Oh, well, we're done then. We'll go back to the track announcer then.
Bill on the move. Visit their Facebook pages. Of course, Changing Hands plays a key role in helping fund the initiatives of Martinsville on the Move. A lot of great things happening in the community coming up this spring and summer. Check out the concert list for the gatherings at the Lynn Park Amphitheater. That's in fact, Tim, I noticed there's going to be a Neil Diamond tribute, and I think that's the concert on June 7. We were talking about Neil earlier. That ought to be a lot of fun.
Yes, and they have some really good talent that goes up there, and we get some very nice crowds up there also. They always have a food truck or two, or some type of dessert vehicle also, so well worth the trip. Anybody that could get here, it's free. The Lynn Park's beautiful up there, so you bring your lawn chair and enjoy some very good music.
And here's the post parade for Race 9. Number 1, Joining Forces, owned by Barbara Wilfong of Kentland, Indiana. Brett Wilfong of Pendleton, Indiana, trained by Brett Wilfong, the driver Matt Avenetti. 2 3-lock box, owned by Ernie Sork, Sean Nessa, and Nori Nessa of Fairfield, DuQuoin, and Fairfield, respectively, trained by Sean Nessa. Isaac Love is up. 3 D&J's Family Guy, owned by the D&J Racing Stables of Terry, Mississippi. That's Duncan and Jacqueline McLean, trained by Jamaica Patton, Jaquavian Carter, the driver. 4, He's a Dark Shark, owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur, Brian Lohman of Champaign, trained by Kevin Miller. Marcus Detweiler will drive. And 5 is Bold Victor, owned by the Flacco family farms of Alexis. Jill Brown of Charleston, trained by Jill Brown. Chris Brown, contrary to the program, is the driver. Tim, I've got to say, I always enjoy when we come and race at Martinsville, not only the racing, but listening to the talented Diane Reeds at the keyboard. And I'll tell you why. I'm one of these people. I've always had a lot of respect for anybody that can play at the keyboard, because I took piano lessons as a kid. Where my piano career went off the rails was when we got to the point where I had to start playing pieces where you had to use both your right hand and your left hand. And I'm right? Yeah. See, there's on the infield there, Steve Surratt has raised his hand. I could not do that. My brain, right, Steve? My brain doesn't work that way. I could not ever get the hang of how you do this with the left hand and this over here with the right hand. So the people that can do that, to me, it's an incredible talent.
Well, and I'll tell you, I bet Diane has taught at least half of Clark County how to play the piano. Everybody I know around here, she is basically taught to play. And she's still doing it to this day. It's not like she's retired. Every day I go by, if I go by, you always see another car, another kid coming out, and another kid going in. It's like a rotating, just one after the other. I don't know how she does it all the time, but she sure enjoys it, and I'm sure her students really appreciate her.
I had a similar experience in band. I was in percussion. these drummers that can play the trap set, that can coordinate playing the snare drum, taking care of the bass drum with their foot, also reaching over to strike the cymbals when necessary. I don't know how they do it. To me, that's just too much going on at once, and the folks that can do those things are incredible. Here they come, race 9. They are off and pacing, and there goes Joining Forces out for the early lead. 3-lock box is away in the second position. D&J's Family Guy comes away third, now challenging for second up on the outside. Then Bold Victor, and He's a Dark Shark, who's back toward the inside in fourth. After the opening eighth of a mile, Joining Forces from that inside starting spot has the lead by a length as they head up the backstretch. D&J's Family Guy drops in alertly, finds an opening right behind the leader to draft in behind the leader in second. 3-lock box is third. These 5 all line up and go nose to tail. He's a Dark Shark, and then Bold Victor to complete the field. 29 and 4, the fastest opening quarter of the day. 29 and 4/5 seconds. Joining Forces is the leader, and a problem there for D&J's Family Guy, who broke stride. Several other horses behind D&J's Family Guy were impacted as a result. The field scattered. Everybody's on their feet. That's the good news. Everybody's still moving in a forward direction. That's more good news. But Joining Forces, the only horse practically that wasn't somehow affected when D&J's Family Guy made a break. 1:01 was the time at the half. Give credit to Jaquavian Carter, though. Let's be clear on that. Heads up move, and he did an excellent job when that happened. It was an abrupt break, and he managed to somehow get that horse to the outside as quickly as possible, and as a result, everybody else, including their own heads-up maneuvers, have managed to stay on their feet. With that said, Joining Forces is the leader. The lead is 3 lengths, chased by He's a Dark Shark, who's closing ground as they move on to the final turn. 131 and 4 at the 3/4, 131 and 4. Joining Forces leads it just over an eighth of a mile to go. Leads it by 2 lengths. He's a Dark Shark is second by 10. And then Bold Victor is third. They turn for home. Here comes He's a Dark Shark. He's coming after Joining Forces. Joining Forces to the inside. He's a Dark Shark is right alongside and breathing down his neck and now moving by. He's a Dark Shark is going to win it. A driving double for Marcus Detweiler. He's a Dark Shark, won it by 3 lengths on the line. Joining Forces was second. Bold Victor was third. D&J's Family Guy was fourth. And 3-lock box finished in the 5th position. We'll check the time in just a moment. Time for the mile, 2:04 flat. 2:04 flat. Tim Wilson Jr., I want to ask you, sometimes these horses can make a break with absolutely no warning. I thought that's what it looked like from our vantage point. I thought Jaquavian Carter and everybody else around him, they did the best they possibly could with an awkward situation. When you're a driver, I can't imagine when that happens. Man, you've got to make split-second decisions, right?
You're just going on instinct, honestly. It happens so fast you don't really have time to think. You just kind of know what you're supposed to do. If I'm the guy making the break, the first thing I do is yell as loud as I can, break, so everybody, hopefully in the stands, can hear me. So the drivers behind me know that I'm in real trouble. The other guys, without the hub rail, thank goodness, back in the day when we had the hub rail, you only had a choice to go right or over the top of the guy that was, well, we call sticking them. If they make a bad break like that, the horseman term is stick them because they just kind of start bunny hopping. You want them to make a break and keep on running like a thoroughbred. In that case, that did not happen down there. So with the choice now, you can go inside or outside. It has made it much safer. But you have about a fraction of a second between safety and ended up in a real bad spot. And unfortunately, we found that out at the Meadows this year. Young man in a race was tragically killed at the 3/4 pole about where that took place. Horse made a break. They got hooked up. He was catapulted, landed on his head, and unfortunately didn't get up from it. So
I will say this. When I talk to folks in motorsports and I converse with race car drivers, when the subject of horse racing comes up, whether it's thoroughbred racing or harness racing, I often hear the same comment, and what race car drivers often say to me is, man, those cats, as they like to say, Those cats that drive those harness horses or that are thoroughbred jockeys, they have no roll cage around them. They've got no head and neck safety restraint, and I know that from a race car driver's perspective, that's one of the reasons that there's a lot of respect for the folks in this industry. How about a driving double for 19-year-old Marcus Detweiler out of Sullivan, Illinois? Here's our winner. He's a Dark Shark. And thank you to Changing Hands and Martinsville on the Move. Some great things, community projects and services. The resale shop helps provide funding for those initiatives. And again, folks, check out their Facebook pages. It's going to be a fun spring and summer here in Martinsville. He's a Dark Shark, is owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur, who's also the trainer. Brian Lohman of Champaign, the co-owner. The winning 3-year-old is a gelded son of Revenge Shark out of Joyce's Choices by Art Major. This is the horse that won the County Fair Challenge at DuQuoin last year, and he is successful now with his third start and his first win of his 3-year-old season. Marcus, congratulations, Mr. Detweiler, on your driving double here today. Tim, we'll get the full field rundown in just a moment. We'll throw it back to you for Pick a Winner.
Yep.
And, Tim, there is a steward's inquiry. In fact, that is our presiding judge, Mr. Randy Callahan, standing near the start-finish sign alongside the stage. Once again, no objections filed, but steward's inquiry, and Randy came across the track because he wanted to review the videotape of the incident just past the quarter-mile mark at the 3/8-mile mark when D&J's Family Guy went off stride. That just, if nothing else, it helps our racing officials make sure that when we process all of the paperwork and electronically send the information to the U.S. Trotting Association, anybody whose progress might have been impeded in the race, that kind of thing, everybody who might have broke stride, maybe received a so-called interference break, you want all that information correct because, A, you always want to be accurate, but also when these horses go to parimutuel tracks, that can tell someone a lot. Hey, this horse might have finished last, but there was a lot happening in the race. So we'll get the full field rundown in just a moment.
Yes, Kurt, he did. I'm going to announce the pick a winner because Judge Callahan did say it did not affect the official winner, or unofficial winner. Mark Angel. Mark, good to see you here, by the way. Get a nutty bar, Mark. Place on. Kurt, while Judge Callahan's figuring out the official order of finish, I'm going to go ahead and let Diane play a song here.
He's a Dark Shark.
He's a Dark Shark. Guess who picked
I don't want to hear it.
Lisa and Steve. And in second place, the number 1 horse, guess what? I got that horse right. And in
I'm sorry, Brett and Candy
in third place, I didn't get that one. Nobody picked that horse.
Nope. It was a anomaly of a race. An anomaly.
And we're going to have a change in the order. The order's going to be what I have on the screen here, and that's unofficial.
Oh, unofficial? There we go. We'll do that then.
At this point. But,
we're not on the screen though.
Yeah, we are. We're right up there.
But it wasn't the results you're talking about were on the screen.
It's right there. Oh, okay. Let me put that up there. Now
that's what I'm talking about. There we go. Okay.
Hey, we'll get our act together about race
10.
The week or
Brown
race
County
day 26.
Well,
we'll have it figured out again.
We better get our act together. I actually had a text from local favorites, Troy and Deb Marketer, watching. They said they're enjoying these 2-year-old races. You know, it's always exciting to see those first 2-year-old events of the year and see.
He's got a 2-year-old.
He's got a two-year-old. I think they have 2. Yeah, one. Yeah.
What's the name of the one that we saw the training videos on?
They are ERM Rose. I don't think they've changed any names. And the colt was Party Over Gold. He's a party at Arts Place by.
Well, we're glad they're watching.
Yeah, Troy and Deb are out there, so we like having them follow along.
What I want to know is that building next to his house a big party building?
I know exactly what that is, but I'm not going to tell you. And Troy knows what I'm talking about.
He should have a 100-inch TV in there.
And the result of race 9 is official now.
Exactly.
By the way, Diane,
Troy,
John
if
Denver,
you're listening,
correct?
we want to watch party.
Little country
in your
roads
garage,
action.
your shed.
Yes,
Make
love
it happen.
There was a placing that did not involve the winner in race 9. The placing, number 3, D&J's Family Guy, finished 4th, disqualified, and placed 5th due to interference at the 3/8 mile mark with number 2, 3-Lock Box, who finished 5 and will be placed 4th. And again, want to be clear, as the saying goes, sometimes there are just racing deals, racing situations. So it's not in this case that anyone points the finger at a driver and says, oh, you caused a problem. No, it's just a case where sometimes with living, breathing creatures like these horses, sometimes they make breaks. Everybody does the best job they can, but there still warrants a placing where interference occurs. And very fortunate. Our presiding judge, Randy Callahan, does want to commend everyone in that race. Very fortunate heads-up move that we did not have a racing accident per se. So here's the entire order of finish for race 9. From the top, joining forces, the runner-up, 3-Lock Box, finished 5, placed 4. D&J's Family Guy, 4th, disqualified, placed 5th. He's a Dark Shark, the winner. Bold Victor, 3rd. 29 and 4 at the quarter, 101 at the half, 3/4, 131 and 4, and the mile, 2:04 flat. Reads down with the placings, 2, 4, 5, 1, 3. Race number 10. Starters are out.
All right, David, with that, let's take a look at race 10 here.
You got the program, so it's all on you.
Well, I'll just give you ours to begin with, and then I'll hand it over to you. Oh, yeah. Hey, race 10, the last race. David picked Jim's Big Boy. That's a fun name.
Yeah,
I like that. And then Tonto Returns, 2nd, and in the 3rd place, a horse that Lisa and I didn't pick at all, Dandy's Storm. And any reasonings behind your pick there?
I don't have to look at it to see. I tell you what, I don't remember exactly, but looking at those, I see a 27 and 4 on that quarter. They're pacing in 56, 57. This horse can compete. It's a racehorse, and I think on a small field, a safe bet sometimes is the best thing to go with. So I went with 3, Dandy Storm for my 3rd pick.
Well, the thing I want to point out here before I announce my picks, if I was picking chalk, Dandy Storm would be a higher pick on my list with all those second places in there. There's only one chalk winner.
But look at that time.
I'm just
so yeah, all those variables you got to keep in mind.
But I didn't chalk pick in this. I want to point that out.
And it doesn't always pay off.
Lisa did. She picked Jim's Big Boy to finish 1st. Tano's Return for 2nd, and Jet Valley Airway for 3rd. I went this direction. Tano's Return, the Avenatti horse, I've got 1st.
Good to see the Avenattis out here.
Jet Valley Airway, Jordan Patton driving that horse.
Jordan's not here. Who's on?
Oh, well.
I'll look. Charles Arthur, the trainer.
The trainer is driving?
Yep.
Okay, we'll make that change on the sheet here in just a moment. But and then 3rd, I went with Jim's Big Boy. So you two picked Jim's Big Boy.
We'll see if Jamaica can come off this really fast mile at Springfield 2 weeks ago, and the 13th of May, where he paced in 55 and 3 last quarter and 26 and 2/5 of a second. So that's where I went on the top. Steve went through the handicapping. I will say it was just cool. I saw Jamaica go by the grandstand, and there was a couple of young little, 7, 8, 9-year-old boys hanging over the rail trying to wave at him and get his attention and smile at him. And I love seeing the fans who are eager to meet our athletes and meet our drivers and meet all of our equine athletes and be a part of the sport. To get this close to a sport is pretty impressive. Not everywhere can you get right up close and hear the hoofs pounding. So we appreciate our fans.
All right, we'll take you back to the track.
Cool. That he liked that schedule of doing that.
Well, we remember your father, Tim Wilson Sr., with race 10 to close today's card. Tremendous horseman and friend. Here they come. They are off and pacing in a speed battle right away. Dandy Storm from the outside. Tonto returns from the inside, and Tonto returns will save the ground as they make the bend around the first turn, and he will win the early battle. The question now, will he win the war? Tonto returns is your early leader. He's on top by a length and a half, as Dandy Storm will go second by 2 lengths off the first turn, with Jet Valley Airway in third, and Jim's Big Boy last of the 4, but starting to move right now from last. Here comes Jim's Big Boy. Jamaica Patton has that pacer wound up and rolling on the outside. Had to gather him up. He put in an awkward step right at the quarter-mile mark and lost a length or two. 30 seconds flat, the time for the opening quarter. Heads-up move by Jamaica because now that pacer has settled down again, and he moves up third, now taking second. But the leader, Tonto, returns. Tonto returns, shows the way. Matt Avenatti in the race bike, leading it by 2 lengths, now by a length and a half. Jim's Big Boy finds a spot to drop over and draft in behind the leader just past the half-mile mark as they move past us here in the stretch. A minute flat for the first half mile, a minute flat. Good, solid pace here as they head back into the turn past the stable area. Tonto returns, leads it by a length and a half. Jim's Big Boy is second by a length and a half and is followed by Dandy Storm in third and Jet Valley Airway fourth, right there with the others as they head up the backstretch. Now, Matt Avenatti is urging Tonto returns, and they're still better than a quarter mile to go. That might not bode well for his chances because here comes Jim's Big Boy again on the outside. Let's see what happens here. 3/4, 1:30 and 1/5. Matt Avenatti has done an excellent job of urging Tonto returns to stay alive, stay focused on business, but here comes Jim's Big Boy, and now the challenge is on. Jim's Big Boy from the outside. Tonto returns is fighting hard to the inside, stride for stride in the Tim Wilson Sr. Memorial down to the wire. Jim's Big Boy gets up to win it. Jim's Big Boy by a length on the line. What a finish. Tonto returns was across the wire second, Jet Valley Airway third, and Dandy Storm finishes in fourth, and the Tim Wilson Sr. Memorial gives us the fastest mile on the day. 1 minute, 59 and 4/5 seconds. Tim Jr., you and your father had some battles like that on this very racetrack.
Boy, if nothing else, Kurt, we've had some outstanding finishes today. So I hope we can duplicate this tomorrow for everybody. I know that. Yeah, I think it was 88 when I got to blow his doors, Kurt, in the Great Midwest that day. Sorry, Barney. He loved me. What's that? I can't read.
Before we get the winner back, I want to go ahead and say I just checked. We got 400 witness slips signed as of right now, which is a great number. Before we got off the air, I want to urge everyone,
Eli Richardson,
your horse fan, go fill out a witness slip. We appreciate all the people's support so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be smoother tomorrow.
We promise.
And
double as well. And as with a driving double, he will tie Marcus Detweiler and Travis Siekman on the driving side of things as they all end up with driving doubles today.
Oh,
Tim, I tell you, this is
Eli Richards. Please don't leave. You won. Sorry, Kurt. I saw him leaving.
Oh shoot, he's still.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Tim, it's really amazing. We talk about your father and being a horseman and a friend, and the family legacy here is amazing as Tim Jr. now comes trackside. Kids, grandkids, and now even the next generation, great-granddaughter Diana June, born November 18, 2024. Just amazing to think of the legacy that Tim Wilson Sr. has left us, and a legacy to be celebrated as the presentation takes place, and the winner, Jim's Big Boy. Jamaica Patton with a driving double and a training triple here today. Dee Phillips of Athens, the co-owner with Jerica Kelly of Canton, Mississippi, a homebred for the Phillips family. This is a horse that had never raced on a half-mile track until today, but he handled it just fine. And I know sometimes we probably make too big a deal out of that because this is a horse that trains at the Illinois State Fairgrounds. And, of course, they've got that all-weather half-mile training track. So often when we say, well, like in this case, he'd never raced on a half-mile track till today, no doubt he's had plenty of miles jogging and training on the track, the half-miler at Springfield. Jamaica, congratulations on a solid day. And our thanks to the Wilson family. What a way to close today's card. Fastest mile of the day, 1:59.4. Jim's big boy, by the way, is a 3-year-old gelded son of Time to Roll. He only made a couple of starts last year. He got hung up in the stall gate in the barn, and Jamaica Patton said we decided to do the right thing by the horse, give him a rest, and not bring him back till age 3. And, boy, that's the decision paying dividends. Well, stand by, folks. We're going to give you the rundown, and then we'll wrap things up over on the stage. Race 10, from the top, it's official. Tonto Returns was the runner-up. Jet Valley Airway third. Dandy Storm was fourth. And Jim's big boy was the winner. 30 seconds at the quarter, a minute flat at the half, 1:30 and 1/5 at the 3/4, the mile 1:59.4, and it reads down 2-3-4-1. Tim, just to put a bow on that memorial race, having yourself as MC, having your sister Dion here clerking, the grandkids involved, and now even a great-granddaughter at the races. Truly wonderful to see everybody here today. We appreciate the Wilson family legacy, and we fondly remember your father.
All right, with that, we're going to close some things out. Final thoughts here, David, as we get ready.
Final thoughts, just appreciate everyone's support on those witness slips and keep them coming. We love all of them coming in. We want to thank the Martinsville Agricultural Fair Board for all of their investment and resources and time and energy, putting on a great show and a second day. I'm so happy to be back here tomorrow to have 2 days to set up and showcase what a magnificent fair. So we appreciate everyone in the fair board here.
Yep, and the whole fair board and the support that they give us for being here and helping with things. So
they're the best.
With that, we're going to say good night, God bless, and we'll see you at the finish line.
Winner Circle.
Winner Circle, yep.